Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to create this responsive website, and also we will integrate our APIs which we have created in our previous video. Let me show you. In this channel you can see we have created a part 1 which is basically on secure authentication with the Opaque token. So I am continuing this video in the next part by creating the front end for it. So now we are going to create this responsive website. Like if I show you, then you can see here when I resize the page, then you can see it is responsive. And when I click on login, you can see this login page and also the registration page, and these are completely responsive. And for creating this, I am using Next.js and the Tailwind CSS for styling purpose. So let's start building it. But before we start, please do subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Okay, so currently we are on our VS Code, and on the left side you can see that there are some files which we have created in our part 1 video. So if you don't see the part 1 video, then just visit to our channel, and here you can see this video which is like stop using JWT secure auth with Opaque token. So this is the video where we have created our backend for this project, and today we are going to create the responsive website for this, and also we will integrate the backend with it. So if you don't see this video, please watch this video first and then watch or continue from here. So let's start building it. So currently we are back to our VS Code, and so what we are going to do is first we are going to create this navigation bar. So for that we need to create a component which is called navbar. So let's go to our app, and inside the layout.tsx, here we will create a component called navbar, and we need to create this component. So let's go to our root folder, and here we will create a folder called components, and inside that we will create a navbar component. And simply here we will create a template like const navbar, and it will return a div with navbar, and we are here exporting by default as navbar. And simply in the layout.as we will import it, and you can see we are imported here, and save it. And also let me run this. So npm run dev. So let me run it again. Okay, so now you can see it is running. So simply press Ctrl and click on this link, and it will open our project. So let me split it side by side. So you can see our project is running, and you can see here our navbar. So let me remove these things. So let's go to our page.tsx, which is in app, and simply remove these because we don't need. We will create by ourselves, and inside this we create a navbar, and simply type like mgcodingfun, and you can see it is removed, and you can see here mgcodingfun. So please subscribe to this channel. Okay, so now let's start creating our navbar. So let's go to our navbar.tsx, and here first we will remove this, and inside this we will create a navbar tag like nav tag, and inside that we will create a link which contain our logo name, which is secauth or company name, and we will provide href as a slash, which indicates our home page, and we need to import this link. So it will be coming from our next link. So simply import it, you can see here, and after this you save it. So now you can see here it is changed from navbar to our secauth. Now let's add some styling. So let's add some class name, and width will be full, and for the navbar we can give like width full, and for medium devices width will be 90%, and to make it center we make mx auto. So now when I show you, then you can see here our navbar is of 90% width, and it is also centered, but when it comes to mobile view it takes full width, which is 100%. Okay, so now let's add some padding in the horizontal, that is 6, and py is 4, and I want my items to be center, so item center. So for now let it be here only. After this link we will add like here let's go to our website. So here you can see here we have two more buttons. So let's create it. So let's go to our VS Code, and here under the link we will create like a div which contain links. So first link is for our login, and second link will be for register. And let's add some href. So here it will be login, and for register href will be /register. And after this, let me show you how it looks. So let's go to our, yeah, so you can see we have login and register, but here you can see both are like in a same column, but I want in a same row. So I want to make it in the row. So let's go to our nav, and here we will make like justify between, and also we need to add here flex. So now you can see here our like sec auth and these two buttons are in the same row, and it is responsive too. Okay, now after this we need some more styling, like we need to add some style to our sec auth. So for this we will add class name, and text will be of color gray, which is of 900. Okay, so currently we cannot see, so I think I need to remove this black background color. So let's go to our, in the app, under app you can see here global.css. Simply remove all of these, we don't need. And now you can see our checkout is appearing. So let's go back to our navbar, and here let's add more styles like font weight, which is extra bold, and text size is of 3xl, and tracking is tight, and save it. So you can see here is a change which is reflected. Now along with that, let's add some attribute to it. So area ARIA label, which is sec auth. Okay, now let's add some style to our like buttons. So for this, in the div we will add class name, which is flex, and items to be center, and gap is of 6 pixels, like 6 which is 24 pixel, and save it. And you can see here there is a gap in between those links. Now let's style our buttons. So first, for the first link, let's add some class name, like text is gray of 600, and font weight is semi bold, and text is large. And also let's make it relative and group. So we are grouping it here, and save it. So you can see the changes here. Okay, so now after this login, we will create a span tag, and we are creating this span tag because you can see here in our project when we hover on login, there is a borderline which is animated. So to make that animation, we are creating, or we are using this span tag. And here we will add some classes like absolute, so that it will be within our this link tag only. And also we make it left to be 0, and from bottom we will make of 1, like from bottom is 1, and width is currently it will be 0, and height of 20, like 2 pixel, and save it. And let us check whether it is. So okay, so now you can see there is nothing appear here, but let's add some background color like bg black, so that we can see it. But as we have given here width is 0, so we cannot see. But when we hover on that, we can add that animation for the width. So let's also add some transition, which is for all, and duration will be of 300, and group hover will be with full. So here we are using group hover because for the parent we made it group. So whenever user click on or hover on group, then it will trigger our group hover and make the width full. So now you can see here when I hover on this login, there is a cool animation with for our border. So it's done. Now after the, let's start styling our register button. So for this register link, let's add some classes. So class name, and here inside this we will add some padding in the horizontal wise like 5, and py is 2, and border radius will be rounded full, so it will be completely round. As you can see here, this button content border radius is 100%. So for that we made it full. And 1 second. So okay, so now after this rounded full, we will add font weight to be semi bold, and text will be white because the button background is black, so text is white. And let's add some bg which is black, and it is of opacity 80%. So now you can see, so here we are adding slash 80, which means we are adding some opacity to it. And if we don't add this one, simply just bg black, then it will be solid background color. So here let's add some slash 80% opacity. And also when we hover on that button, then at the time it will be 100% black. So now you can see when I hover on that, you can see it's changing like opacity. Okay, so now after that, let's add some shadow. So shadow will be of medium. And transition, for animation, let's add some transition for all, and duration will be of 300, and save it. Okay, so now we are done with our navigation bar. So let me show you, like you can see when we hover on login, we have animation, and also when we hover on button of register, then you can see there is change in opacity of this button color. So our navigation is done. Okay, so now we are going to create our home page, like this section. So let's go back to our VS Code, and here let me also open our browser so that we can see the changes. So now what we have to do to create our home page, let's go to our app, and here inside the app there is a page.txs. So simply open that, and here we are going to implement our like home page. So let me close this tab here, and here inside the div tag we will create another div, and inside the div we will create one more div. And for this div we need to add some background, like as shown here. You can see at the top there is some color, like gradient color. So for that we will add by this div. So here for this div we will add some class name that is like relative, and left will be of 50%. So left 1/2. And aspect ratio, so here let's add some aspect ratio. So aspect will be of 1100 slash 100. And okay, so here is some spelling mistake, so I have fixed it. And currently you cannot see any changes, but as you can see our here we got our horizontal scroll bar. This is due to this size of here what we have given, but we will fix it by adding width, which is of 72 rem. And after that let's add some translate, which will be in the negative direction. For the x is 1/2. And let's add some bg, like bg gradient, from like bg gradient to top to right, and from will be blue color of 200, and save it. So now you can see our gradient color is added. Let me show you in the desktop view. So you can see here. So now what we have to do is, like, we need to push it over here. So let's do it. So let me wrap it here, and after this let's add some via indigo. So via will be of indigo color, which is 200, and to Sina we will be adding of 200. And opacity, let's add something like 60. So opacity is 60. So now you can see there is two colors are blended here, like here we are added blue and indigo color, as well as Sina. So here three colors are blended here. Okay, now what we have to do, we need to move it here. For that what we will do is, like, we need to add style to these two divs. So we will start from our first div. Here we will add some min height, which will be of screen size, and bg gradient from top. Like from bottom we will adding the bg gradient, and from will be white, and two color will be of slate 50, and text is slate, which is 900. So inside this div all the text color will be of slate 900, and there will be some background gradient color, as you can see here. Now after that let's add style to this div. So here we will add class name, and we will make it pointer event, which will be none, pointer events, which will be none, and absolute. so that our like this div will be absolute to this like parent div. And also from also we will add insert x. So insert x will be of 0, and from top we will add -6 rem so that it will move up. You can see here it is moved up. And after this we will add transform, which will be group like gpu, and overflow will be hidden so that it will be hidden within that within this div. Currently it is not hidden, so let's add some height to it. Before that, let's add some blur of 3 xl and save it. So now you can see there is a blur. So let's go back to our project, and you can see. So what we I have done here is like this is an another div which contain background color white, so that it is like the blur which is blue color. You can see here this is backside of this div. So we will continue from here, but for now it is done. Okay, so one more thing is left, that as I said that here in the project you can see there is some height. So actually we need to define z index so that it will be back of this like this div. So for that what we will do here for this div we will add like minus z index to be of 10, so that it will be backside of our div. So now you can see it looks same as here. So it is done. Now let's start working with the other part. So now we will create this section. So for this what we will do, after this div, like after this div, we will create another div, and we will call this div as container. So let me add here comment like containers. And for this div we will add some class name, which is like mx is auto, and width will be of 92%. Like for 92% is for mobile view, and for the and maximum will be of like maximum width will be of 6 xl, and save it. So currently we cannot see anything, but let's add some more content. Like inside this div we will create a section, and for this section let's add some class name, which is grid items to be center, and gap between them is 8, and py will be 10, and grid column. So for the mobile view it will be of one column, but for the like in the medium size devices it will be grid columns for width of like 2 columns. And after this, inside this div, like inside this section we will create another div, and inside that we will add h1 tag, and that contain a content. Like let me copy it, and so this will be the content. And let me, like you can see here this is our content, which is h1. And also here after this we need to add some padding for the medium sized devices, like from top and bottom will be of 16, and save it. So this is in mobile view, and this is how it looks in the desktop view. So now after this let's add some style to our h1. So for that we will add class name, and text will be of 4 xl, and font will be of extra bold, and leading will be tight. So leading tight, and tracking also will be tight. And after that for the like after like medium sized devices the text size will be of 5 xl, and save it. So this is for text 4 xl for the mobile view, but in the case of the desktop view it is of 5 pixel. And here you can see it looks same as here in what we have done. So after this let me split it. So okay, after this h1 we will add some paragraph. So in the inside the p tag we will add some content. So let me get this and paste it here. So these are the content which we are going to show. So let's add some style. So add class name, and here from margin top will be 3, and text size will be large, and text color will be slate of 600, and save it. So now you can see here is our paragraph tag. And after this let's go to our project, and here we can see after that we have these buttons like create account and login. So let's start creating those. So let me open our browser again, and here is our browser. Now after this div, so not after this div, after this paragraph tag, we will create another div, and inside that we will add our link, and we need to import our link from next link, and inside that link we will add content like create an account, and for this link we will add href, which is um, for now I am going to give register, but in future if there is any change, then I will change it. And let's add some style to it. Currently you can see this is our create an account. Let's add some style to our div first. So here for this div I will give margin top 6, flex and flex wrap, and items to be center, and gap is of 3, and save it. And let's add some style to our link. So for this we will make inline flex, and items to be center and justify center, and rounded will be of XL size, and background color will be black, and padding X is 5, and padding Y is 3. And let's add some text color to be of white. And for now let's save it, and currently you can see this is our button, and there is more style to add, like we need some shadow. So shadow will be of medium, and transition, we are adding transition to all, and on hover we need to change the background color for this button, which will be of the black of 80. So black slash 80%, and save it. So currently you can see when I hover on this, it is opposite to this, but let's add background color to be, for the first time it should be 80, and when user hover on this, then it is like solid black. So now it is good. Now after this let's create another link, which is for our login. So it will be same, like let me copy here and save it, and let me change this to login, and let me remove these all styles, and also change this href to login. So for this login let's add style, like here we will make group, and it should be relative. Along with that we will add some inline flex, items to be center, and font is of semi bold, and text color is slate of 800. So currently you can see this is our button for login, and when we see in our project and when we hover on this, we get the same effect as we are getting here. So we will do same thing here. I am not creating reusable component, but we can create a reusable component, so that for this too we don't need to like write code over and over. So after this text style we will add, okay, so after this what we will do, like after login we will create a span tag, and for that we will add some class, which is this thing which we have done. Okay, so which is like absolute left, from left we will add 0, or we can copy this from our navbar, like it has same style. So simply copy this and paste it here and save it. So now when we hover on this button, you can see there is an animation, and if you want we can create component. So let me create component for this, that would be better. So what we will do, I will copy this, and let's go to our component folder, and here we will create custom button .txx, and let me skip this. And this is what we will do, let's create a template. So RAFCE, and this is our template, and whatever just now we have copied, just simply paste it here and save it. And also we need to import this, so import it from next link, and here you can see we need to pass some props. So here we need href, and also like label, we can give any name, but I am giving here label. So this is our href and this is our label, and save it. And let's add some TypeScript here. So data type is for href is string, and label is also string, and save it. Now let's go back to our nav, and simply what we will do, we will remove this login, and here we will call our custom button which we have created just now, and we will pass here href, which is slash login, and label is login, and save it. So now you can see this is our button, login button. and it is also responsive. Similarly, what we will do, similarly we will copy this and paste it here under our create an account, and paste it here and import it from our component and save it. So now you can see both component contain same UI, and here we can pass whatever href we need, but for this also it want the same thing, so it's login and login. Okay, and save it. So now you can see our this part is also done. Now we are going to create, okay, so we need to add this, and after that we will create this section. So let's go. So below this content, like our this button, so this is our div. So after this div we will create an paragraph. Okay, so after this div, not this one, so after this div we will create a paragraph tag, and inside that we will add the content, which is this one, and simply paste it here. Okay, and after this let's add some style to it. So margin top will be 4, text size will be small, and text color will be slate of 500, and save it. So this part is done. So now let's start creating this section. So let me go back to our project, and here below this section we will create another section which is called hero card. So what we will do, after this div we will create here another div, and for this div we will give name as like hero card. So let me add hero card. Okay, and for this div let's add some class name. So rounded will be of 2xl, and border color will be slate 200. So let me add here slate, and after this we need to add some background color which is of white with the 70% opacity, and padding from all side is 5, and shadow to be large, and background drop, so let's add some background drop blur which is 2xl, and inside this div we will create another div, and inside this div we will add one more div. So let's add some style to first div, that is round red which will be xl, and some bg color which is slate of 900, and all side padding will be 4, and text will be of slate 400, and save it. So now you can see this is our div like hero card. Now inside this div we have another div, and inside this div we will add some text like slash api slash auth slash session, and save it. So you can see this is our text, and let's add some style to it. So class name, text will be small like extra small, and text color will be of slate 400, and save it. So you can see this is our text. So after this div we will create a pre tag, and inside this tag, like inside this tag we will add some content like this. So let me paste it here and save it. So this is the content, and currently you can see it is going outside of this. So let's add some style to our pre tag. So here we will make margin top 2, and overflow will along the x direction will be auto, so that it will be inside this text, and there is a scroll bar, so it will be always inside this div. And along with that let's add some text size that is small, and leading is relaxed. Save it. So now you can see this is our this section like hero card, same as this, but currently you can see this color is white in color, but our UI contains some color. So let me change this. So here we can make the text is slate of 100. So now you can see our text color is white in color. Now after this text we need to add some tags. So for that what we will do, after this div we will create a ul tag, and inside this tag we will create another tag which is li, and inside this tag we will create a span tag, and inside this span tag we will add some classes which is this one, and save it. And after this is for our this thing, like let me show you. So for these circles we are using span tag, and then we will add this text. So let me copy this. Let's go back to our browser, and here after this tag we will add that content. So currently we cannot see, but let me add some style to our UL so we can see. So let's add class name, which is margin top will be 4, and grid, and gap, grid gap will be of 3, and text size will be small, and text color will be slate of 700, and in the medium size devices grid column will be of 2. So grid columns will be 2, and save it. And let's add some style to our li. So for this we will add flex item to be start, and gap is of 2, and save it. So now you can see this is our span tag and our content. So now after this, similarly you can see here we have more 3. So what we will do, I will copy these 3 things for 3 times and save it. So now you can see we have more 3 here. Now let's change the color of this background. So like here I will make it blue, and for this it is indigo, and for the last one is uh, amber, and save it. And also need to change the content of this. So let me copy all the content. So this is the content for the second one, and for the third one, so this is for third one, and this is for fourth one. So now you can see our this section like hero card is done. And let's go back here, and you can see it looks same what we have created here. So this part is also done, and let me show you in the desktop view. So this is how it looks, and this is responsive. So we are working with like mobile first and then for desktop, but it is responsive as you can see here. So now what we will do, after this section we need to create this section which is auth. So we need to create these cards. So let's start creating this. So for this section what we will do, we will create a component. So let's go to our component folder, and here we will create a component and we will call it like auth. We can give any meaningful, but currently I am giving the same what is in the heading. So you can give anything. So here I am giving auth.tsx, and here we will create a component, that is RAFCE, and enter. And this is a component, and we will import this here in the pages. So where we will import is like after our section, we will here import our like ysec auth. So simply here we will import ysec auth from our component and save it. And you can see here this is the path from where we have imported. Okay, so let's go to our ysec auth, and here also let's go to our browser. Okay, so you can see ysec auth is appearing here. Now let's add, or let's create this part. So for that we need to change this to section and save it. And let's remove this, and inside this section we have h2, and this h2 content like ysec auth and question mark, and save it. So you can see here, and let's add some style to our section first. So class name, so py is 8, and in the medium size devices py is 12, and save it. So when I show you, then you can see this is how it looks. Now let's add some style to our h2. So class name, and here text will be center, and text size will be of 2xl for the like small devices, and font weight will be bold, and for medium devices text size will be of 3xl, and save it. And now you can see here this is our heading ysec auth. So now after this we will create our content. Like here we need to create these cards, so let's start creating those. So after this h2 tag we need to create a div, and this div contain class names, which is margin top 8, grid gap is of 3, like not 3, it's 6, and small devices it will be of grid columns of 2, and for larger divided it will be of grid columns of 3. And inside this we will create all the feature card. So for that what we will do, we will create a component. So here below this export we will create a function, that is const feature, and this feature will take props like title and description, and let's add some type. So title will be of string type and description will be also string type, and here it will be okay, and this will return a div. For now I am returning a div, and save it. And here you can see there is some issue, so let me hover. So parsing expected, okay, so here we need to pass equal. So now it is done. Now what we will do, we need to call this here. So inside this div we will call our feature, and also we need to pass the content to it. So for now I am passing here title to be like empty and description is also empty. First we will style this and then I will add those content for these features. So here in the feature, we will add some style to this class like div. Class name is like rounded, which is of 2xl, and border color will be slate of 200, and background color will be white, and padding from all side is 6, and shadow will be of sm, and transition, and along with that we need to add some hover effects. So on hover the shadow will be medium. Okay, and save it. And let me also wrap this so that we can see all content in same screen. Okay, after saving it you can see we got here a card, that is feature card. Similarly, if I create more features like 3 features, then there will be 3 cards. Okay, so inside this div we will create h3, and this h3 contains our title, and after this h3 there is a paragraph tag, and this contains our description, and save it. Now let's add some style to it, but before that let me add some content to our feature so that we can see here. So for that what I will do, I will paste all the content which I have already have. So let me copy it and let me paste it here and save it. So here this is description, so let me change it to description and save. So now you can see this is our card, and this is how it looks in our desktop view. So let's add style to it. So let's add here class name, which is text of size is text lg, and font is semibold, and save. And for paragraph we need to add margin top of 2, and text color is slate of 600, and save. So that's it for creating this feature card. So you can see this is our card, and when we go to our project, so here you can see these cards and our card looks same. So this section is also done. Now we will continue with our other part, which is, let me check. Okay, so we need to now work on get secured in 3 steps. So we need to show these steps. So let's start creating those. So let me open our browser and let me split it here. Okay, so now let's start creating. Okay, so let's now create this section. So to create this we will create a component. So let's go to our components folder, and here inside this let's create a component called get secure. We can give anything, but for now I am giving this one. And here rafce, and just create a template. And now I want to use this component in our page. So here let's go down, and after this section we will create another section called get secure, and this will take our get secure. We need to import it, which is just now created in our components. So click on that and it will import. So let me show you. So you can see we have imported our get secure, and let's go to our browser, and here you can see. Okay, so currently we cannot see. Let me run our server. So it is running. So let me refresh this page and check whether, okay, so now you can see we have our get secure here at the bottom. So now let's go back to our get secure and start continue from here. So now change this div into section. So section tag, and similarly change it here, and inside this section we will create h2 tag, and this tag contain our title. So it is like get secure in 3 steps, and save it. And here you can see the changes, like we have changed our title. Now let's add some style. So before that, let's add some style to our section. So class name, and for this py will be of 10, and in medium devices py will be of 14 and save it. So now you can see here is the padding is applied. Now let's style our h2. So for this we need to add some classes like text center, and along with that we need to add text of 2xl and font is bold, and for medium devices text size is 3xl and save it. And you can see our text is center and size is also increased. Now after this our h2 tag we need to create ol order list. So like let me show you. So here you can see these are numbers. So for creating the list of these we are using order list, and let me back here, and inside this order list we will create steps. So for that we will create a component called step. So under this secure like export, here we will create a function which is step, and this function takes arguments like index for our numbering and title and also description. And let's add some type to it. So index will be of number, and here the title will be of string, and description is also string. And here this function will return a div and save it. And what we will do, we will call this step here. So inside the order list we will call our step, and let me add some dummy text. So these are the dummy text which I am going to add, like okay, and save it. And here you can see there is no change because we are not passing this into here. So let's style it. So in order list, as you can see this is an order list, so it contain list. So let's change this div into list, and inside this list we will create a div, and this div contain a span tag, and inside the span tag we will add our index and save it. So now you can see our index like 1 2 3, which we have added here. Now let's style this li and div, then we will continue further. So here let's add class name which is rounded to xl, and border color is slate of 200, and bg is white, and let's add some padding of 5 from all side, and shadow is small and save it. So you can see this is our card. And now let's style our div. So for this we will add style like flex item center, and gap is 3 and save it. Now after this span tag we need to add h4. So h4 which will be showing our title, and below that like below this div we will create a paragraph tag and which shows our description. So now you can see this is the content in our card. Now let's add style to our span tag. So here inside the class name we make flex height is 8 and width is also 8, and items to be center and justify center and save it. And let's add some background color like bg black, and for the round, for look like a circle, suppose if I save it here, currently it is square. To make it circle we will use rounded full. So you can see it is circle now, but our text is black in color, so we need to change the color of that. So we will make like text to be white, and font is bold, and text size is small and save it. So you can see our like indexes. Now let's start styling our h4. So for this we will add text to be base, and font is semi bold and save. And for the paragraph tag we will add like from the margin top we add 2, and text is small, and text color will be slate of 200 and save it. Okay, 200 not, let's add 600 and save it. So you can see this is looking good. Now we need to add some style to our order list, because you can see here these cards are like attached to each other, but we need some gap in between those. So let's add some space. So for that we will add, let's go here, and in our ol we will add class name where mx will be auto and margin top is 8, so that there will be a gap between our title and this thing and save it. So you can see there is a space. Now let's add some grid, and max width is of 3xl, and save it. And also gap is 4, and medium device grid column will be of 3 and save it. So you can see this is in mobile view, but when we on desktop view, it will be in single row. So it is responsive and it looks good. Now let's change the content of this. So for this, I will add the content like this is our description for our first one, and let me also change the text for second. So this is the description for the second step, and third one is this one. Okay, so this one is third one, so let me change it here, paste it. So you can see I have changed the content and it looks good, everything is looking good. And also we need to change the title of this, because here is index is 1 and title is also step 1, so it is not good. So let me change the title. So here for the first title is like register, and second one is integrate, and third one is ship and save. So now you can see it is changed. Let me check whether I have entered correct or not. Register, integrate, ship. Okay, so we are done with this part, as you can see here. And also let me show you in desktop view. So it is looking good. Now we need to create this section and this footer, and our home page will be done. Okay, so under this section only we need to create the button, like as here you can see this button like start free. So this is under this section, so we need to create here. So let me open our browser, and under this OL we will create a div, and inside this div we will create a link, and we need to import it from our next link. So simply import it, and inside this we will type like start free, and here the href will be like slash, we can give anything. I am giving register for now, and let's style. So before that let me show you. So here is our link, and now we will add style to our div. So class name, and here we will give inline flex, and width will be of before width let's make the item to be center, and rounded XL, and border color will be of slate, which will be of 300. So let's add slate 300, and background color will be white, and from like horizontal padding will be 5. For now let me save and show you. Like here you can see this is our link. Let's continue. So after adding padding, let's add like vertical padding, that is 2, and save it. Let me check. So this is py is 3. Okay, so this size is more padding here, I think. So let me add here. Let's go back here and let me add 3. Okay, so now it looks good. And after this, let's add font weight is like semi bold, and text color is slate of 900, and shadow is medium, and transition. And along with that, when we hover on that button, we need to change the shadow, that is shadow from medium to like, let's add here medium, and here let's make it small. Now save it. So now when we hover on this, you can see the shadow effect here. Okay, so now it's done. Now what we have to do is we need to make it center, because here in the desktop view you can see it is it is here, but and in case which is our this project, it is center. So let us make this center. So let's go to our VS Code, and here let's style our link first, like we will make it center. Okay, so why we are not able to make it center, because as here we are using inline, but we have added our style to our div, but this style to be applied to our link. So paste it here and save it again, and now you can see it looks same as before, but now we can make it center by changing the style of our div. So here we will add class name, and from top we will add margin of 8, flex is display flex, and justify center to make it center. So now you can see our button is at the center, and in the desktop view also it looks center. Okay, so now after this we need to create like let's go to our project, and we need to create this section. So this is a separate section, so we will create a separate component for that. and also we will create separate component for our footer. So okay, let's go back here in our VS Code, and what we will do, we will create a component. So inside the components we will create component which is, let me check, so here is ready to lock down. So here let me give name like ready to lockdown.txx and simply create a component and save it. And we need to import this in our pages. So here after this section, here we will add our component which we have just now created, that is ready to lockdown, and import it here. So after import, you can see here our ready to lockdown is showing here. So now let's start styling it from here. So change this div to section and also here, and inside this section we will create a div, and this div contains another div, and inside that div we will create h2, or let me create h3 tag, and here we will add our title which is ready to lock down your app, and save it. So you can see here the change is applied. And after this, like we need to add a paragraph. So under this h3 we will add paragraph tag, and this contains some information which is this one. And after save, you can see here our paragraph. So for now let's add the style. So we will start from section. So let's add class name, and here from margin top will be of 16, and round will be 2xl, and bg gradient from which is to right, and from slate color will be of 900, and 2 is black, and save it. So you can see our card here, it looks good. And after, along with this color, we will add some padding, horizontally 6 and py is 10, and simply save it. And let me wrap it. Okay, and along with that, as you can see, we cannot see any text, so let's change the color to be white, and shadow is excel, and save it. So now you can see our text is appearing. Now let's add style to our this div. So class name flex is column, and items to start, and justify between. And also we need to add gap of 6, and for medium devices flex will be row, and also medium devices items to be center, and save it. And let me show you like how it looks in the desktop view. So this is how it looks, and this is how it looks in like mobile view. So after this, let's style our h3. So here for h3 we will add like text to be of 2xl, and font is bold, and save. Now let's add style to our paragraph. So for this we will make margin top 1, and text color is slate of 200, and save it. So now you can see it looks good. After this, what we have to do, let me check. So we have added these two. Now we need to add like create account and login button. So let's add it here. So let's go to our browser, and in the VS Code, after this div we will create another div, and inside this div we will add link, and this link we need to import from our next link. And here inside of this we will create, write like create account, and save. And href will be slash register, and similarly we will create another button which is for login, and here we will change the content to login, and save it. And also let me show you, like here you can see we have two buttons which look alike but color is different. So what we can do, we can create a reusable component, and we can also use same button here. So let's create a component. So inside the component we will create a file which we will calling like theme button .txx, and here we will create a component, and let me copy that style. So let's go to our ready to lockdown, and let me copy this and paste it here. And also we need to import this link, and save. And now let's add some style to this button, and then I will change it, or I will customize. So for now, let's go back to our browser, and here is our two buttons. Also let me change this. So let me import that button. So here I will use like theme button, import and save. So you can see here the create account is coming from our theme button, and let's add some style to it. Then I will change or customize the style. So here we will add class name, and inside I will write the class name inside the curly bracket, and let's add template here. And now I will add like rounded is Excel, and BG is white, and PX is 5, and PY is 3, and font is semi bold, font weight is semi bold, this one, and text color is slate of 50, or let me add 900, and save. So now you can see this is our button. Along with that, we need to add some transition, and on hover opacity will be changed, so opacity is of 90, and save it. Now when I hover on this button, you can see there is change in opacity. So currently it is not reusable, so to make it reusable we will create a props here. So here I will call label and also href, and as you can see here there is change in background color of button. Like this button contains like different background color, and this one contain different. So for that, what we can do, we can change this background color to be customized. So here we can create a um, props like a background color, so bg color, and also we need to customize this text color. So for this, what we can do, we can here add like text color, and simply I, so as Copilot is suggesting, so I will change this and save it, also this one, and save. Let me wrap. Okay, so now you can see, let me go back to our browser, and here we are getting error because we need to pass this. But before that, let's add type to it. So label is string, href is string, bg color is string, and also text color is string. Save it, and let's go back to our ready to lockdown, and here we will pass our label, which is create account, and href is slash register, and we can give the background color, which is white, and text color is, we can give slate 900, like 900, and save it. And now you can see this is our button, and here you can see everything is working good. Similarly, we will change this theme here. So we will use same here, but we will change the label. Label is login, href is login, and here the background color, let's give some transparent, and the text color is changed to white, and save. So now you can see it looks something like this. But when we go back here, then you can see there is a border, so we need to also add that. So let's go back to our theme. Okay, so now what we have to do is like we need to create a separate variable which will be dynamically changed when user, like when we pass as a props. So what we can do, like here we will create a variable called const, and here we will add bg color, which will be like suppose if it is white, so here we can give like bg white, and one second, and this will be changed based on like if user passes bg color, then we will make it bg color, or if not, we will by default we will use this one, which is bg white. Okay, so let me remove quotes, and so this will be our bg white color. And also here you can see we have already bg color and we are using here, so let's change this to like background color or button bg, and save it. So now there is no error. And after this, what we can do, we can change this all, and here we will create separate like button bg, and save it. And also here for the text we will do the same thing. So const button text, which equal to, if there is a text color we will apply that, if not by default we will add here text color like text slate 900, and simply we will remove this, and we will here add button text, or we can add any we can give any other name, but currently it's fine. And you can see there is no change here. But let's go back to our ready to lockdown, and here what we will do, we don't pass color background color for this. And also you can see we are getting errors, so we need to fix that. as here we are making sure like if user passes background color, then only it show the background color. If not, by default we are showing white. So we need to make this optional. So bg color is optional, text color is also optional, and save it. So now you can see this is how it looks. So let's go back here. So here we have removed our bg color, and also we will remove our text color. So now you can see by default this color is, for this button color will be white because we are not passing anything. But when we want something here, like suppose I want this bg color to be like red 500 and save it, then you can see our button color is changed. So for that purpose, so here for this button I want bg color to be transparent, so it will be transparent. And let's change the text color. So here text white, which will be 30% opacity. So now you can see this is how it looks. Let me check in our project. So here it looks something like this, but when we go back to our project, and here you can see opacity is changing. So we don't need here opacity, simply it is white, or we can remove this, then it will be white. Okay, so I think we have by default added here color for the text is okay 900. So we need to pass color. So here we will add text color to be text white and save it. So now you can see this is our button, and our hover effect is also working. Now just we need to add the border. So let's go back to our theme button, and here we will add border too. So here we will add border, and border color will be depend like what we want. So for that, what we can do, let's go here and create another variable like button border, and this border will be based on our background color. So if background is white, the border will be like white, and if there is no background, then there will be color. Or we can here add like button color or border button border color, which will be is equal to button border color. Like if user provide the border color, then it's good. If not, by default it will be like transparent. So border transparent. Or let's add here border to be of color bg color. By default it will be of bg color. Okay, and save it. And also here let's add this button bg, and let me add these two in our props. So here this will be also optional and string type, and save it. After this, what we have to do, okay, so you can see here these variable names are same. So for props we can give other name like border color, and same thing I will pass here like these two, and save. And now I will pass this to our this class and save it. So now you can see there is a border, and for this also there is a border, but we cannot see it. But what we can do, like we can disable it. So suppose if user passes border color, then its border color is applied. If does not pass, then simply made it empty, so no border. Okay, so now let's go back to our, okay, also we need to change it here. And now let's go back to our ready to lockdown, and here for this we will add our border color, and border color will be white, but opacity will be 20. And let's go back to our previous project, and here you can see this border opacity is some 30. So let's change here to 30 and save it. So now you can see it looks good. Now what we can do is like let's add some style to our div. As you can see, these two buttons are so close to each other. So let's add some style here. We make here flex and gap is of 4 and save it. Now you can see there is gap in between those, and also it is responsive. So now everything is good. You can also change this one. So let me add this theme button to this button. So let's go to our get secure, and here for this button, so before anything, first let's import our theme button here. And this theme button contains label, which is start free, and href, which is slash register, and save it. So now you can see these two buttons look alike. but here the border color is somewhat different from this button. So what we can do here, we can give border color like here we have used border of slate 300. So simply we will use the same color here and save it. So now you can see both are looking alike. But here there is one more thing, like here is shadow effect and here there is no shadow effect. So for that what we can do, we can go here, and for this we can also add one more props like class name. So this will be, or we can give custom style, and this will, what it does is like we can add more style to our button. So here at the end we will add custom style, so and save it. And also we need to pass here, so it will be of string and optional as well. Now let's go back here in our get secure, and here we can add our custom style. So as you can see, we have the shadow effect, so I can copy this thing and paste it here and save it. So now you can see when I hover, our shadow effect is applied on this. So now I can remove this button and simply save, and you can see our button is looking good. So these two buttons does not contain any shadow effect, but this contain, because we are here for this button we have added custom style. Okay, so we are done with this. Now we will create the footer thing, this part, and our home page will be done. Okay, so now we are on our home page, which is, you can see here in the app we are on the home page, and here below this, like ready to log down, we will create a comment which is called footer, and after this we will create a component which is footer slash and bracket, and we need to create this component. As you can see, footer is not defined, so we will create a component. So let's go to our components folder, and here inside this we will create a footer.txs, and here we will simply create a simple component of footer and save it. And let's go back to our page, and here we will control space, and you can see we need to import. So simply click on this, and at the top you can see it is imported. So now save it, and now when you scroll down, then you can see this is our footer. So let's go back to our footer page, and let me close this, and here we will change this div to footer tag, and inside this footer tag we will create a paragraph tag, and we will add the content like this one and save it. So now you can see here is a copyright symbol plus year and our company name and all right result. Okay, now after this we will create a div, and inside this div we will create a link, and we will import this link from next link. Simply click on that and it will import here, and for this link we will add content like privacy, and similarly we will create more too. So let me rename it, and here is a href, and we create more too, and for the second one I will add like terms, and last one is contact, and save. So now you can see here at the bottom our copyright and our like links are appearing. Now let's add some styles to it. So for the footer we will add class name, and we will make margin bottom to be like 10, and flex column, so that it will be in the column for mobile devices, and items to be center, and simply save. And now you can see our this content is centered. Now let's add more styles like justify between. So justify between, and gap is to be 4, and save it. And also let me wrap this, so toggle wrap, and here after gap we will add some border top, which is color to be of slate 200, and save. So now you can see here at the top of this text there is a border. So after this we need to add some padding y, which is 6, and save. So now you can see there is a padding from top and bottom, and after this we will size, like we will add some font size like text small, and text color is slate 6700, and save. Let's change to 500. Yeah, it's look good. Now for mobile devices it will be like flex rows. Sorry, not for mobile device, for desktop or the other than mobile devices it will be flex row, and simply save. So now you can see when we are on the desktop view, this is in the same row, but when we are on the mobile view, it is in the column. Okay, so after this, let's add some style to our these links. So for this div, we will add class name, and we will make flex items to be center and gap is of 6 and save. So now you can see here our links contain some space in between them. Now let's add some style to our links. So what I will do, I will select this one and press Ctrl D for sometimes, and you can see it is selected all the three. Now we will add some class name, and on hover we will change the text color to be slate with 700 and save. So now you can see when I hover on this, the text color will change. So that's it for footer. I think we have completely created our homepage, and it is also responsive. Like when I drag this, then you can see it changes based on the size of this device. Like, so our homepage is done. Now what we will do, we will create a login, and for register page we will create those things, and then we will integrate our backend API to it, and it will be done. Okay, so now we are going to create this page. So let's go to our here in the app. So let me collapse and let me open again. And here in the app, create another folder, and let's add it like auth. And inside this, so you have to write something like this. You can give any name inside this bracket, but this bracket is mandatory. So inside this folder, we will create another folder which is called login. And inside this login, we will create a page.txs. So page.tsx. And simply here we will create a component. And let me give name for this. So let's me add like login and save. And let's go to our browser here, and when I now click here, then you will be seeing like it is redirect to our login page. So in this way we create our routes for login, and you can create for anything. So this is how it works in Next.js. And now let's start building it. So what we have to do, we need to create this box, and inside that we will add this content like title and this input text. So let's start building it. Okay, so now let's change this div to main, and here main, and here inside this div we will create another div. And as you can see here, there is some like background blur, so we need to add it here. So as we have done in the home page, like in the home page we have created. So let's go back to our home page, and simply we will copy this first to div, and let's go back to our login, and here we will remove this and paste and save. So now when we are on the login page, then you can see this is how it looks. Okay, so now let's add some style to our main. So for this, we will add class name, and we will make it relative, and min height is screen size, and let's add some bg gradient to bottom, and from will be of slate which is 50, and let's add via which is white, and save it. And now you can see our this like color for this is fixed. Now after this, let's add 2 also. So 2 slate is 100, and now it is done and save. Now after this div, we will add one more div, and here we will add inside this div we will add another div. So let it be div, and inside this div we will create one more div. So this is the last div, and inside this div we will add link tag. So link which we need to import from next link, and here we will add our sec auth. Like this is for our okay. So I think we need to add here href, and for now let it be slash and save. So now you can see here is our like company name. Like in this is the title which we are going which we have created here. And after this div, or sorry, after this link, we will create a paragraph tag, and for this we will add like welcome to or welcome back slash log into continue and save. And now for now let's add some style to it so it looks good. So what we will do, for this div we will add classes like max auto and flex, and min height we will calculate by ourselves by using calc. And here we will add 100 vh minus 4, or let's add to be 10 rem and save it. And after this we will add max width, which will be of 6 XL, and items to be center, and justify is also center, and save it. So now you can see our content or this div is centered. Now let's add px to be 4 and save it. Currently we cannot see anything, but let's add style to this div, then we can see everything. Like here we will add class name, and width will be full, and maximum width will be of md, and save. And also let's add some borders so that you can see here. So border slate, which is 200 with opacity 70, so 70, and save it. So now you can see there is some border around this text. And after this we will add like round 2 XL, this is for border radius. And after that let's add some background color, which is white. And also let's add some opacity, which is 80%, and padding from all side is 6, and shadow XL so that we can see what is going on. So let's add some shadow and save. So now you can see our container is created, and now it looks good. And after this let's add some background drop for shadow. So background drop with blur, and let's add some blur without. Okay, so now you can see it's look good. Now after this div let's add style to this div, so that we can make this content to be centered. So here margin bottom is 6, and text item to be center, and save it. Now let's add style to our link. So for that what we will do, after this href we will add class name, and we will make inline block, and text to be of 2 XL, and font size, like font weight is extra bold, so extra bold. And tracking is light, so tracking light. uh, okay, tracking tight, and text color will be slate 900, and save. Now let's add some color or style for this paragraph. So for this paragraph we will create a class name, and margin top 1, and text size is small, and text color is slate with 500, and save. So now you can see we are done with our this title part. Now we will create these input fields. So what we will do after this div, like this is div for our, okay, so this div is for our container, and this is for our like title. So we will collapse this, and after this div we will create another div, and we will call it like here. Let's add some message like alert. So as we are going to integrate our backend, so I will be following like I will design and also integrate backend at the same time. And if anyone not seen the backend part, then you can simply visit our channel, and there we will be seeing our like, okay, let me show you. So simply go to YouTube and search mgcodingfun, and here this is my channel. Simply open this, and let me stop this, and this is the backend for this for this website which we are building now. So please watch this video first, and then come and start building our front end, and also integrate the backend. So okay, so after this here we need to create an alert. Like when we go here in our project, and here if I type anything, like here if I type something wrong, and when I click on login, then it will take time, and it will show a message which is an alert message that invalid credentials. So we are going to create this one. So for that, first I will add styling, then I will connect with our backend. So here we will create a div, and inside this div we will create a svg. So svg is for our icon, so simply I will copy that, because I have also taken from on Google. So here let me paste and save. So now you can see this is our icon. And after this svg we will create a span tag, and here we can show our error. For now I am showing here like error message, and save. Now let's add some style to this div. So here we will add class name, which will be margin bottom is 4, flex item center. Let's make start, and gap is in between them is 2, and rounded will be large, and save. So now you can see it looks something like this. And after this we will add border, and border color will be red with 200, and bg color will be red which is 50, and save. So now you can see this is our border and our background color of this text or alert. And let's add some padding. From all side is 3, and text size is small, and text color is red, and let it be 700, and save. So now you can see this is looks same as this one. Now we need to make this dynamically like render. So for that what we will do, let's go top, and here after this curly bracket, here we will create some like states. So for that what I will do, we can use state snippet, and for it I will write form and set form. It will be capital, and let's import this from React. So you can see it is imported, and here inside this we will need objects like email and password, and save it. And here you can see we are getting an error, so let me refresh this page, and still we are getting okay. So here we are getting error because we are using use state which is an hook, so it should be in the use client component. So we will make this component as a use client and save it. So now you can see error is gone. And now after this we will create another um, use state which is, let me create first, and name will be like show pw. We can give anything, but I am giving pw like show password. And for the like at the start it will be false, so it is false. And why we are creating, let me show. So you can see here, when I click on this icon it will show our password, and when I click on again then it will hide. So for that we are creating, so by default it will be false. And after this we need one more use state which will be for loading, and by default it will be false, and save it again. And for showing error we will have same use state, so use state, and it will be error. And here we will add set error, and by default it will be empty. And here we can also add types like it can be string or null, and by default it will be null, and save. And after this we need to create one ref, because when we click on this, and when I escape, like when I press on tab, then it simply from this input it will go to our password. So for that we need to use the use ref. So const email ref equal to use ref, and simply import this use ref from React. And for this we will add types like HTML input element, and by default it will be null, and save it. Now after this what we will do, we will create a use effect hook, and inside this hook, so let me create it first and save it. And inside this hook what we will do, we will initialize our email ref. So email ref dot current colon focus. So why we are creating this, because let me show you. So when I am on our home page, and when I go back to our login page, then you can see when I visit it simply it is focused on our email by default. We didn't click anything, simply from home we redirect to our login, and I can type anything without clicking on this like input text field. So that for that we are using this. Okay, so after this we will create on change functions and the other thing. But right now we don't we I think here we didn't created any fields, so it is not required for now. But here I can write a comment like to do, like on change function. And after this we will create another function which is like to do is on submit function. And for now let's add, like let's make this to be dynamic, because um, for the first time our error will be null. So let's make this hide. So what we will do, we will select this div and cut it, and here I will write error and simply paste it again. So now you can see the error message is gone, and we need to change this also. So in the curly bracket we will write error. And now when we go back, and if I add some error here, like error message here, and save it, then you can see our error messages came. And when it is, or when there is no error, then it will be hidden. Okay, so now let's start creating our input box. Okay, so now scroll down, and after this error message we will create another div, and let's add some here text or comment, that is form field, and save it. And also change this to form, and inside this form let's add another div, and inside this div we will create a label, and for this label let be email, and here we will write email and save it. So now you can see here is our email. And after this, let's add some style to this email, so, or label. So here we will add class name, and for this we will make margin bottom 1 block, and text is small, and font is medium. So font weight is medium, and save it. And also let's add some style to our form. So for this we will add like class, which is space y, which will be, let be 4, and save. And also we need to add here no validation, so as we are not doing any validation, so no validate. And after this label we will add another div, which is called relative. So means it has a class name relative, and inside this div we will create an input field, and this will be of text type. So currently we cannot see, but you can see here this is our text input. And for this we will add our ref, which is email, which we have created here at the top. So simply we are passing here. And after this we will add an id, which is an email, and type will be email. So let me change this to email and save it. And after this we will add our placeholder, which is like, we can add anything. For now I am giving like u@example.com, and value will be form.email. So here we are accessing our email from this form tag, like form state, so form.email. So let's go down, and after this we will add on change. So for now let it be empty, we are not adding any on change functionality. And after this let auto complete is email, so that if in our browser if there is any email, all the email will be shown here. And here we will add required, because in the login we need email and password compulsory. And let's add this thing. So let me copy this one and paste it here. So this is for checking for the validation, so whether we have, whether the user has entered the email or not. So for that it is. So after this what we will do, we will add an icon. Like here you can see at the end we have an svg icon. So for that we will add an icon. So let me get the icon, and after this input field we will paste it and save. So now you can see this is our icon. So now let's add some style to our input field, so that it looks something like this. So here after this, so here let's add class name, and let make it clear, and width is full, and round is excel, and save it. And after this let's add some border, and border color will be slate, which is around 300, and save. So now you can see here is a border, and let me zoom it, and you can see this is the border. So now after this let's add some color to it, like uh, bg is white, so that our background of this input field will be different from the background of this box. And let's add some padding. So from horizontal padding is 3, and vertical is 2.5, and save it. So now you can see our input field. And after this let's add some text color. So text color will be slate, which is 900, and save it. So normally when user type here, then the text color will be different. As we here we have added no change. So let me comment this, and okay, so we still not able to change, so let me comment this also. So now I can add anything here. So this text color is this one. Okay, so let me uncomment these two and save it again. And now after this text color we will add outline none. So outline none is because when we click on this box, then you can see this is one outline to our around this border. So I don't want that. So here we will make like outline to be none, and let add some transition. And when user focus on this input field, then at that time I want the color of the border to be different. So let it be slate 400. So now when I focus on that, then you can see the border is changing, color of border is changing. And also let's add some ring to it. So here we will add focus, ring will be of 2, and save. So now when I focus on that, then you can see there is one more ring here. So now we need to change the color of that ring. So here focus ring, color will be slate and 200, and save it. So now when I focus on this, then you can see the ring color is changed. So now it looks good, and this is our input field. Now after this input field, we will going to create this password. But before that, what we will do, as you can see, this is same as the, like, you can see here, like this input field is same as this field, just here this is for email and this is for password. So what we can do, we can create a single component and we will reuse it. So what we will do here is, let's go to our component. So here inside this component we will create a component called input field, or we can give like custom input.tsx, and here we will create a component and save it. And okay, and let's go back to our login page, and simply we will copy these two, like we will copy this div only. So from here to here, simply copy it, and let's go back to here and remove this one and paste. And also we need to fix this error, but before that, let's save it and let's go back here. And what we will do, simply we will remove this, and here we will create another div, and inside this div we will add our custom component which we have created. So this is custom input, and save. And let's go back to our input, like custom input, and let's fix this error. So here let's add props like email ref, and also we need value, and we need form, and along with that we need on change, and also id. um id can be the type. So what we can do here, let's add type and placeholder and save it for now. Okay, so let me save, and also let me here add a value, so that we can change this label. So for that we can add your label, and we can simply replace this with label. And as we are using TypeScript, so we need to add here types. So simply create props, and here we will create type which is props, and in this curly bracket we will write types for all of this. So for email, like email ref will be this one, and for value will be of string type, and form will be object which contain email, and it is like it can be anything, but for now I am defining email and password. And after this we have on change. So this will be a function which contain an change event, and for now it will be void, and type will be string, and placeholder will also be string. So placeholder is also string, and I think we also have an error here, so we can pass it, and it can be string or null. So okay, and let make this email ref to be like optional, because if user want, then he can add or he can leave it. And apart from that, everything is good. So now let's change here. So let me change this to type, and by default it will be text. And let me change this placeholder and on change, and here let me change this to type, and let me add name also is type, and here let add here error. So error, and save it. So now I think all the error is fixed. Let's go here in this page, and you can see we are getting errors because we didn't pass anything. Let's also add value. So here value will be coming from here. So actually we don't need this form, but for now let it be. So now you can see error is gone, and let's pass all the props to it, and then after that we will customize it again. So for now let's go here, or we can do like also for this we need to customize. So here we will be using icon. So if we have icon component, then we will show icon. Okay, and here we will create icon component, and let me also add it here and save it. Now let's go here and let's add props to it, and also let me make this optional. So if user provide, then only it will show icon. So now you can see it is gone. Now here we will add label, which is email. So now you can see this is our email, and email ref, or let me change this to ref. So let's go back here and let me change this to ref. So this is ref, and also let me change it here and here. So if there is ref, then okay, if not, it's null. So here I am passing ref, which is email ref, and value, for now it is empty. And after this we need to add placeholder, and which is uexample.com. And you can see here we are getting error, like it is an type object is not null. So let me go here and we can make it like, okay, so here we can make something like null. So okay, still we are getting error, so let me fix it. So here you can see we are getting like, you should update the type props in the custom component like input, fill, or null. Okay, so we need to write like this. So copy this one and go back here, and instead of doing like this, what we have to do, we need to make it null like this and save and close this. So now you can see our error is gone. And after this also we need to add some more props like type, as well as, okay, type is optional, so we let's make it optional, because okay, placeholder is also optional. If user want, he can pass, or if you don't want, he can leave it. And here you can see, as you know, here we are passing here type, but here we need it. So that's why type, let's make the type required, so that these two get the type. So let me remove here. So let me remove the type. Okay, so now we are here, and okay, so okay, let's go back here, and let change this id to name, because type can be like text, password, or email, but sometimes our names will be different. So we'll change here name, and let's add here name, which is required, and string also here, and save it. And okay, also we need to change here, so save here, and autocomplete. So we can also customize this. So here we can keep like true or false. So here we will pass like autocomplete is a string, or we can make it boolean. And here we will pass autocomplete, and also let's fix this. So if it is off, by default if user passes anything, then it is email, like autocomplete is true, then email. If not, by default it will be off. So okay, now here what we will do, we will make, so also we need to pass the form. So form is form, and also on change, by now it is doing nothing. And type is email, name is email, and autocomplete is true. And simply save it here. So error name and autocomplete. Okay, we are getting error, so let me add here div. Okay, so now it is done, all the errors are fixed, and now you can see this is our input text field. And you can see here we don't have icons, so for that we can add here icon component, and for this component we can pass our icon. So for this what we will do, we already have an icon svg, so simply I will copy, and here inside this we will pass the icon and save. So now you can see here is our icon, and our email input box is created. Now similarly we need to create for our password. So what we'll do, copy this and duplicate it and save it. So now you can see this is our email and email. Now simply we will change the label. So this is for password. We don't need ref, and value can be, let me add value. So here value will be like form dot password, and here your password, and here type can be different. So it is based on show. So let me change here, like when show password is true, then it will show, it will be text. If not, it is password, so that it will be hidden. And also change this name to password. And autocomplete here we don't need, so remove it. And for icon, we can add another icon. So I already have it, so let me get it. Okay, so what we have to do is simply remove this, and here we will create a fragment component, and inside this we will paste this one. So what we are doing here is, if show password is true, then we will show off icon, and if not, we will show I icon. So now you can see this is our icon. So if I click on that, okay, so currently there is no functionality I have added to it, but we will add. So let's go back to our input field, and here for this icon button, like this is a button, but here inside this, here we are not defined as a button. So let me remove this, and here we will create a button, and inside that button we will pass icon. And let's add some style to this button. So let it, this type will be button, and on click, so there will be functionality of on click, so we need to pass this. So let's go here, and let's add on click, and it will be optional because icon is optional. And after this, we need to add some class name. So here will be absolute, so that it will be here like inside this div. And after that, we will make it like right to be 2.5. So from right it will be 2.5, and from top will be 1 by 2, like 50% top. And also we will translate it. So before that, let me save and show you. So now you can see this is 50% from top, but we need to translate to make it center. So minus translate in the y direction 1 by 2, that is 50%. So now you can see our icon is centered. And after this, we need to make it like rounded medium, and padding will be 1.5 from all side. And then color will be of text slate, which is 200, and save it. Let's change it to 500. And when we hover on that, then bg color will be slate, which is 100, and save. So now you can see when I hover on this icon button, then you can see that there is an hover effect around it. And after this, we can also add hover for the text. So when we hover, then the text color will be slate of 700, and save. Like this text, the text which will be here inside this, when we hover on that, the text color will be changing. Let me show you, like here when you are entering something, and when I click on this, then this color will be like 700 slate. Okay, so let's go here, and also let me toggle wrap it. And after this text color, we will add some attributes to this button, like aerial pass, like pressed, which will be shown password. So pw, so okay, so if it is true, then it will be true, so we need to pass this prop also. So let's go here and add this boolean, which is optional, and save it. Also what we have to do is like here we need to remove this, and also this one. As you can see, when we hover on this, there is no change in color, so let it be. And okay, so now after this, we need to also pass like area dot label, which will be like if shown password is this one is true, then hide password, if not show password, and save it. So now you can see when I click on, okay, so we didn't add or pass. So for this custom input, we will pass on click method, and we are changing our set password to be like whatever it is opposite to that, and save. So now when I click on that, you can see the icon color, like icon is changing. And also let me add some functionality so that we can change the text. So what we will do, for this value we will add form.email, and for this one we will add, okay, we already added form.password. So let's create on chain functionality so that we can change the text in email and password, because currently I cannot change anything. So let's go to the top, like where we have added comment like to do, and let me remove this, and here we will create a const on change method, which will be like this one, e dot react dot change event, like, and type will be input html input element, and inside this curly bracket we will create a, like, we will set the form. So here we will add set form, and it can be for anything, like we are spreading out the form, like whatever present in this form we are getting here, and just changing the e dot target dot name value and save it. And after that we will make set error to be null. And now let's go back to our custom input, and here we will change this to on change, the function which we have just now created, and also here, and save. So now if I type here anything, now I can type, and if there is no error, then everything is good. And let's test whether password is working. So by default you can see our password is hidden, but when I click on this, then you can see the password. So it is working properly. Okay, so our input form is done, but you can see these two forms are like very close to each other. So what we will do, here at the top, for this div we will add class, and we will add space of y, and we will remove this one, or let it be, but for now this is how it looks. And let's go back here, and you can see the icon. So it is working good and it is looking good. Now after this we need to add this input, like checkbox for remember me and forget password, and this button and this thing, and it will be done. Okay, so I have observed that here the icon color is different, and where, like here for this the color is different. So I think our, like, icon color is not applying for this, and that is because of like we are here creating another fragment. So to fix that, let's make this as div. So here type div and also close this, and after that we need to add some class name. So for the color, let's go back to our custom input, and here we need the color of icon to be like this slate of 100, which is on Hova it will be 700. So let's go back here, and here for this class let add text color slate which is 700, and save. So now you can see our icon color is changed, but not like this color. So let me change this to 100 and save it again. So not this one, so let add 500. Yeah, so let me change to 4. Yeah, so now you can see our icon color is same as here, and when we click on that, still it works. So okay, so now it is fixed. So now after this, let's start creating these two. So what we have to do, we need to go here after this div, we will create another div, and for this div we will give a name. Let's add here a comment called remember plus forget password. So we are going to create these two. So here inside this div we will create a label. So one second, and let's give this label name as a checkbox, and here let's add some style to it. Before that let's add here input which is checkbox, so that we can see here the checkbox, and you can see I can click here. So now let's add some style to it so that it look good. So let's go to our this div, and let's add some class name that is flex item to be center. And before that let's add here some placeholder. So after this we will add remember, or inside the span we can add remember me, so that it will be in the same line. And now let's add style to it, like display flex item center and justify between. And after this, for this label, let's add class name, and that is flex item center, and gap is in between is 2, so that there will be gap in between this checkbox and remember me. And after this, we make the text size to be small, and text color is slate with 700, and it is slate, and save it. So now you can see our remember and checkbox is ready. And let's go back here, and here when we click on that, you can see it is check is done, but this checkbox size is little smaller. So let's add some style to this input field. So for this we will add height, which is 4, and width is 4, and rounded, so there will be some round in the box, and that is border radius. And let's add some borders color to be slate 300, and after that let's add some text color that is slate 900. And on focus there will be a ring, so ring color will be ring slate 200, and save it. So let me zoom it, and now you can see when I check this box, then there is a light ring color. So everything is looking good for now. And after this, we need to create a link, like for the forget password. So after this label, we will create a link tag, and we need to import it from our next link. And inside this we will type forget password or forgot password, and save it. And here we are getting error because we didn't pass any href. So for now href is forget password, and save. So now you can see our forget password is here. Now let's add some style to it. So let's add class name, text color is small, font is medium, that is font weight, and text color is slate 700, and underline so that it looks like a link, you can see here. And after this underline we need to add hover effect. So when we hover, then the color of the text will be slate 900. So let me add 900 and save. So now you can see when I hover on this forget password, then the color of this is changing. So this part is done. Now what we will do, we will create this button and also these. So let's go back here, and after this div we will create a comment here, and this is for submit button. So we will type here submit button, and after this comment we will create a div, and this time we will create button, and inside this button we will create a loading. So when user click on login button, then it will show some loading effect. So to show that we are using loading, which we already created here the state. So let's go down, and here when loading is true, then we will show something different text, like we will show a span, and for that span we will add a css so that it shows the loading effect. So here we will create a class name, and for this we will make style like inline block. And for now let me remove this so that you can see what I am doing. So now let's add more style here. So after this inline block we will add height like h4 and w4, and animate is spin so that we can have the spin animation. So okay, so spin and save. So for now we cannot see anything, so what we will do, let's add some classes to our button. So for this we can add a group, and okay, group, and here it will be relative, and also inflex, inline flex, and save it. And after that let make the item to be center and justify center, and let's add some gap is 2 so that our icon and the text will be separated. So let me add here the text so that it can appear. So if it is loading, then at that time it will show loading in, like logging in. If not, it will be logging. So now you can see here there is a login, but when it is in the loading state it will show logging in dot dot something like this. So now let's continue with our button style here. So after gap 2 we will add some rounded, that is border radius xl, and bg color is black so that we can see our button. And after this, let's add some padding, that is px is y, like px is 4 and py is 2.5, and save it. And now we cannot see the text here, so what we will do to see the text, we can add the color to our text, that is text white. Now we can see our text. And after that, let's add some shadow, which is sm, and transition. So transition is for animation, so transition all. And on hover we will change the shadow, like shadow effect, so that is from small to medium. So like, let me zoom in, and now you can see when I hover on that, there is slightly change in the shadow, so it is looking good. And after this shadow, let's add the disable opacity. So when it is like when our button is disabled, that time our opacity of this button will be like 60, and save it. Okay, so now let's start continue to style our span tag, like the spinner. So for that, here we will add, after the spin, animate spin, we will add rounded full, so that it will be completely in circle. And let's add some border, and border color to be white, so that we can see the loader. So now you can see this is our loader, and it will rotate, but currently you can see it is taking, like it looks circle. So to make it somewhat different, we will add transparency. So like border right, we will add transparent, so that now you can see there is some transparency on the right side. So due to this animate spin, it is rotating. So this is how we create a loader. So now let me add here the logging, like loading state. So when it is in loading, then at that time, when loading is true, then only it will show our loading state. If not, it will not show. So now everything is working properly. Let test whether it is work or not. So now I am making loading true. So now you can see our text is changed from login to logging in, and also we can see the loader. And when it becomes false, then it will be normal. So okay. So now what we will do, let's add some width to it. Like now currently you can see our button is so small compared to this one. So let's add some width. So let's go down, and okay, so for this button, let's add width is equal to full, so it will take complete space, and our button is done. Now after this button, we need to create our this or option, where we can create an account. So let's go down, and here after the submit form, like this one, we will create a divider. So this is for showing a divider like this. So let's go to our browser, and after this comment, we will create a div, and inside this div we will create a span, and let's create two span. And the first span will be with close tag. And here first let's add class name for this div, that is my is 6, and flex items to be center, and gap is 3. Okay, and after this, let's add some style to our first span tag. So for this, we will give a class, and height will be something pixel. And let's also add here inside this span, let's add or, so that we can see what is going on. And after this span tag, like or span, we will have another span. Okay, so now let's add some style here. So for this, let's make width is equal to full, and bg is late 200, so that there will be light background color for our span tag. And similarly, we will copy this and paste it here for this span, and save. So now you can see our right and left divider is created, and at the center we have or. So now for this or span, we will add class name, like text is small, like extra small, uppercase, and tracking is wider, so that it will be, 1 second, so tracking is wider. So now you can see the, like space between the letters are somewhat wider. And after this, let's change the color of text, which will be slate 400, and save. So now you can see our divider is created perfectly. Now after this div, we will create another comment, and for this comment I will write register. And below this we will create a div, or let's create a paragraph, because you can see here we have only text, so we don't need div. So inside this paragraph, okay, so here inside this we will create a, like we will add text like new here and question mark, and after this paragraph, like after that text, we will add a link, and this link contain like create an account. So create an account and dot, and let's add some href to it, like dash register and save it. So now you can see this is our like register section, and for this paragraph let's add some style. So class name is text center, so that our text will be centered, and text size will be small, so text is small, and text color is slate, which is 600, and save. Now similarly let's add some style to our link. So for this we will add class name, and font is semi bold, and text color is slate, which is 900, so somewhat different from the new here section. And after that let's add some underlines so that it looks like a link. And you can see there is, we need some gap in between these two. So what we can do, like we can add flex and gap is 2, but you can see our, let me zoom in, but you can see our text is not center. So to make it center, what we will do, we will use here justify center. So justify center so that our content will be centered, and now it looks good. And also we are done with our login page. As you can see here, this is how our login page looks before, and this is what we have created. So it's done perfectly, and I think we have also integrated our like API. So let's test whether it works or not. So let me add here this one, and here let's add some random text, and let's click on login. Okay, so we didn't added functionality to like on click for this button. So let's go, and for the form we need to add on submit. So let's go at the top, and as you can see we, this is left. So what we will do, for this form we will add on submit, and here we will create handle on submit. And let's go up, and here we will inside below this we will create const handle on submit function. And for now it's, let's save it, and you can see we didn't get any error, so everything is working good. Now let's add some functionality to it. So inside this we will create a, first we need to prevent the default load, like when we submit then it should not load. And after that we will set error null. So for the first time there will be no error, but while we are logging, and if there is any error, then we will set that error. So here we will check first, like form.email or form.password is not null, or suppose if it is null, then we will return something. Okay, we don't return something, and okay, let me fix it here. So this is not bracket, it is curly bracket, and save it. And if these two fields are not provided, then we will set an error, and we will inside the error we will write like fill, please fill in all the fields. So suppose if I click on this login, then you can see we got an error that please fill in all fields. So these two fields are required. Okay, so if user successfully enter this field, like there is no error for this fields. So after this, what we will do, we will create a try catch block, and here we will add in the set error, that is something went wrong, please try again, and we will console the log. We are consoling the error, and inside this try block we will set loading to be true so that we can see the loading state. Like when I click on that, and suppose if there is no error, and when I click on this login, then you can see the loading state. So this is because of this. And after that loading state we will connect to our API. So const response is equal to await, and this is equal to await fetch, and here we will pass the API, that is API slash or slash login. And if you guys don't know like from where I am using this thing, then you need to watch my video which is on the YouTube. So simply search, and okay, so here you need to search like mgcodingfun, and you need to go to this page, this channel, and this is the video which you need to watch first, because in this video we have set up our like Next.js, and also we created our backend. So after creating this video, I am started creating like this one for the front end and integrating the backend. So please watch first this video and then come and watch and start doing from here. So okay, so after this we will add like body section, that is like method. So here is post. One second. So this is an header section, and here we are making this API to be post and headers. Okay, so headers is like content type, and it is a application JSON, and inside the body we will add our form, that is json.stringify, and simply add the form, and this form is this one, the state which we have created. So okay, so after this we are done with our API connection. Now what we will do is like we will check if not response dot okay. So if there is any error with this API, then we will show an error like here we will type like const data is equal to await response dot json, and for this we will catch the error, and this error will be simply, for now I am showing null, and here we will set an error, and inside this error we will write error dot message, and we can write anything here, but for now I am writing like login failed, please try again, and dot, and simply after that we will make our loading state to be false and we will return. So now suppose if I refresh this page, and if I try to enter something else other than the login, like I am not entering the correct credential, and when I try to log in, then for now it will show login, but here you can see login failed, try it again. So our this this error handling is working properly. So now after this, if everything is good, then what we will do, simply we will route this user to the our login page. So for that we need to create here use router. So router like const router is equal to use router, and this will be from our next navigation, not from next router, it is from next navigation, and save it, and let's go down, and if everything is okay, then simply router dot push to slash dashboard. We can push anywhere, but as we are using next like middleware, so here we can pass next. So here we are passing our dynamic next, so we need to create this one. So let's go here, and after this we will create a const next, which will be is equal to search, and we need to create this search params. So here we will write const search is equal to use search params, and this is also from next navigation, and after this we use this search here. So search dot get, and here is our next, and this next is passed from our middleware. So based on this, like whatever for the next, that will be passed to our login, and if there is nothing for the next value, so by default it will be going to dashboard, and save it. And after saving, now let's test whether it is working or not. So here if I type correct email and password, and let's click on login, then you can see, okay, so I think I need to enter correctly. So now when I click on login, okay, so I have debug, and I found that here the API which we are passing is different from what we have created. Like when we go to our app, and inside the API we have created an v1, and inside that we have login, logout, and register. So what we have to do, we need to change this auth to v1 and then save. And now if I try to log in again, so here I am entering the credentials like this, and when I click on login, then now you can see it is login, and after some times it is redirect to our dashboard, like you can see here. So our login is working properly, and after this what we will do, we will start working with the register page. So let's start creating it. Okay, so before we start creating our register page, we need to log out, because you can see we are on our dashboard, and if I try to go to register, then we cannot go. So to log out, we didn't create any logout functionality. So what we will do, simply go to here, and select the cookies and site data and select this one and simply remove this cookie. And after removing, when you try to go to our register page, then we are on our register now, but we didn't create the page for register, that's why we cannot see. So that's why it's showing 404. So let's create this page. So let's go back to our app, and here inside this app and the auth, inside this create register folder, and inside this folder create a page.tsx. And for register, you can see here our register and login page looks alike. So what we will do, simply I will copy the login page content. Okay, so let me copy and paste it here. And after that, what we will do, we need to change the name of this component. So you can say we are in our register, and to make this component different from login, we need to change the component name as register. Similarly, we will remove here or remove this and write like register. Okay, and save it. So now you can see there is no error. We are on our register page, and this is the component of login. So we need to change some data. So for now we don't need these two, so remove that. And also from here, remove this import and save it. And in the form we need name, and along with this name we need confirm password, so that user can enter first password, and also to confirm his password there will be one more field. And after this show password is for this field, so we need to create one more. So just duplicate that and simply change this to confirm password, set show confirm password, and by default it will be false, and save it. And after that, we don't need here the email ref and also this use effect, so simply remove those. And also remove from imports, so we don't need these two, and save it. Here we are getting error because we are passing email ref to our components. So let's go down and simply remove this and save. So now you can see error is gone. Now let's go top, and we need these and also this one. Here the inside logic will be changed, so for now I am commenting it. And also after this, let's go down and let's change the title here. So for the title, here you can see when in the register page it is like create your account and something here, this paragraph. So let's change this here. So here for this paragraph, let's change to start secure authentication in minutes, and save. And after this, you can see the changes here. And above this paragraph, we will add h1 tag, and this contain like create an account, and save it. And now let's add some style to it. So for this, we will add class like top margin 2, text is Excel, and along with that we will add font is semi bold, and save. So now you can see our title is done. It's same as this one. And after this, let's add like fields. So let's go down, and above this email we will create another custom input. We already created that, and simply we need to pass the properties like label will be like name, and here we will add optional, and save. Then you can see here our name field, and here name will be name. And after that we need to add the value, so value will be form dot name, and save it. And after this we need to add form, so we passed the form. On chain will be on chain, same as previous, and we need to pass error. And after this we also missing our placeholder, so placeholder will be your full name. We can give anything, but this is fine. And after that we need to add the type, so type will be text, and save. So now you can see our error is gone, and this is our name field, and it does not require any icon. So as you can see here, there is no icon, so we will remove it. Now after this, let's go further. So okay, so now you can see here we have the name of user, and here you can see for the name icon is present or like here on the left side, for email also left side, but in case of login it is on the right side. So we need to customize our component. So let's go to our component here, or add some properties. So here let's add like icon position. so icon position, which can be optional, and we can add like left or right, so user can decide this one. And along with that, we also need icon, um, icon type. So icon, because you can see this is an normal icon, we cannot click on this, but this is a button icon, so we need to differentiate. So here we need to add like property like icon type, and it is also optional, and here it can be button or simply an icon, so here or an icon. So after this, we need to include these two in this object. So here we will add our icon position and icon type and save. So for now there is no change here, and also let add this position and the icon type in our first like username. So here first let's add icon. So icon will be like svg, so let me get that svg icon. So this is the icon which we are going to show. So now you can see our user icon is here, which is outside this input field. So we will fix that. Before that, let's add our props like icon position is left because we want this icon to be here, and I want this icon type to be of icon, so that we can differentiate from this and like this button. So now let's go back to our custom input, and here we need to customize this because let me show you one thing. Like here for this button, if I change this to left, then you can see all the icons are left, and when it is right, then all the icons on the right. So we need to customize this based on the like what user passes icon position. So for that, we need to remove this, like cut that, and instead of this we use template literals, and inside this we will paste it again. And now what we will do, instead of these, I will remove this, and here I will write dollar and icon position, so based on icon position. So if here, if position type is equal to is left, then in that case we will make like left is 3, else we will make right is as 2.5 and save. So for now you can see our right position is correct, but our left is not fixed properly, so we will fix it. So for that, what we need to do, we need to customize, like we also passing icon type. So for to fix that issue, we need to here add like if there is an icon, so instead of like this, we can change it like if like okay. So for now let it be here. For this input box, we need to add more properties, like as you can see here we have added. Okay, so here we don't have, but normally if we add padding from left, which is 10, then you can see our this one, like our place order or the text field is moved from left is like some pixel. So we want this to be dynamic. So for that, what we will do, let's remove this one, and instead of this, first let's copy or cut this and convert this into like template literals and paste it again. And at the end, icon, first we need to decide whether user had provided icon or not. If user had an icon, then we will check whether icon position is equal to left. If icon position is left, then we will check icon type. So icon type is equal to button. In that case, if it is a button, then we will add here padding left will be 11, and if it is not, then padding left will be 10. And at last we will add like so at last we will add padding right to be 10, and finally if there is nothing, so it will show empty. So let me tell you again, like if we have an icon, then it will check for icon position, which is left. And if I have an icon, then it will check whether it is button or not. If it is button, then the padding left will be 11, and if it is not like a button, it is an icon, then padding left will be 10. And if it is not left, then simply for the right icon, padding will be on the from right will be 10. And if user not provide icon, then it will be empty. So save it, and currently you can see there is no change, but let's check whether why we are not getting. So here we have added icon is left, so our icon is on left, and icon type is icon, so it is icon. And also we have added our icon. So but what we have to do, we need to remove these all, and simply for this icon we need to add like height is same as below icon, like uh, h5 and w5. So w5 h5, and icon color will be like let's add text slate 400 and save it. So now you can see our icon looks something like this, and currently it is behaves like an button. So we need to fix this one. So let's go back to our custom input, and we need to customize this button, because when type is button then we don't need, we will show this one, but if it is an icon then we will not show button. So further what we will do, we will cut this, and here we will check like icon type is equal to button. In that case we will show this button. If not, we will create a div. So let's create a div. If not, we will show this div, and this div contain icon, and save it. So now you can see our icons are outside of like our input box. So to fix for this one, what we have to do, we need simply to pass icon type. So here for this icon type will be button, and save. So now you can see it is fixed, and this one is also fixed. Just we need to fix this one. So let's go back here, and for this icon we need to add some classes, that is absolute, so that it will be within our input box. And after this we need to add top is from 1 by 2, and translate y is 1 by 2. So our like icon is center. And after that we need to decide, we need to change as per our icon position. So we will convert this into template, and at last we will check whether icon position is equal to left. Then in that case we will add left to be 3, and if not, we will add here right to be 3. And also we need to change this to question mark and save. So now you can see our icon is here, and everything is looking good, but here you can see there is more space, so we need to fix that. So for that what we will do, we'll go back to our email, so this one, and from here we will remove everything, and simply we will add h5, width is 5, and text color is this one. So now you can see our icon is fixed, and this is also fixed. So in this way we customize our like custom input. So after this what we will do, so okay, so you can see here email is our on the email icon is on left side. So let's convert this. So let's go to our email, and here we need to add the position. So icon position which will be left, and save. So now you can see our icon is here, and we can also add here like icon type is icon, so it will be icon. So now you can see when I hover on that there is no hover effect, but for this there is, because this is icon, this is button. Okay, so now after this we need to, let's check here. So we need to add this confirm password field also. So let's go here, and below this, so we don't need this one, like remember forget password, so remove this. And after this div, like this div, so within this div we will create another field like for the password. So what we will do, simply we will copy this one. So we will copy this, and simply we will paste it again. So as we are, you can see we are getting some issue with it, so simply copy. So now you can see this is another field. Now we need to change the label. So label is confirm password, and here placeholder is your password, or we can type here confirm your password. And here type will be like value will be confirm password. And also we need to change something like name, that is confirm password. And now you can see it is same like password, like we can enter here anything, and also we can enter here, and we can toggle. So currently you can see both are toggling at the same time, so it should not happen. So what, okay, so we need to change this also. So here we will change like set show confirm password, and this is this one. And also we need to change this, so convert this into like this state and save. So now if I click on this, then okay, so there is no effect. Let me refresh, and now let's enter something. And when I click on this, okay, so still it is not working. So what we can do, okay, and also we need to change this one. So here we will change like show confirm password and save. So now it will work. You can see it is working now. And also here when I enter something and click on this, then it works. So okay, after this, what we have to do, let's start building this one. Like here it checks how strong our password is. Okay, so now we are going to create this. So we are on our register page and scroll down, and after this on change, we will create a functionality for this, like to find the strong password. So let me change this, and here below this we will create const strength, and here we will use memo. So simply import this from our React, and inside this we will create a function, and this function also contains a dependency. Okay, so in this function we will create a variable called p, and for that we will pass a password variable. So we are passing this field variable here, and after this we will create let s is equal to 0. So this is for scoring. We can add here score or anything. So it will count the score. And after this, let's check if our password length is greater than or equal to 8. Then we will increase our score by 1. And also we will again check whether it contains letter or not. So A to Z capital letter slash dot test p. So in the password we are testing whether our password contain capital letters or not. And if it contains, then score is increased. So we will increase by 1. And after this we will again check whether our password contains small letter or not, and we will increase the score. And after that we will again check whether our text contain number or not. So for that we have something this one. So simply paste this, and we will increment the score and save. And after this, what we will finally, we will return our score and save it. And here in the dependency is the like form dot password, because whenever there is change in the password, it will call this strength variable and check whether this field like password contain all these score or not. So okay, so we are done with this. Now here we will create another label. So const strength label, and it will be containing like weak or very weak, weak, fair, good, strong, and save it. And after that, by default let's select something which is a strength. So here we will pass our strength. So based on the strength variable, like if here the score is by default it is 0, so it will show weak. And when it is increased by 1, then it will show like weak, and here it will show very weak. And when it is in the like here in this case it will be fair, and in this case it will be good. And if this is also present, then at the last it will show strong. So after this we need to scroll down, and let's go, and after this button like password, so let's go down, scroll it down, and so this is our password. So after this, here we will add our strength password strength indicator. So let's add a div here, and inside this div we will add another div, and inside this div we will add a span, and it will be self closing. So let me remove this. And okay, so let's add some style to our first div. So for this class name, that will be margin top is 2, and this div we will add like flex height is of 1.5, and overflow is hidden, so that all the content will be hidden and rounded. And bg slate, which color will be 200. So let me change to 200 and save. So now you can see this is a bar, and it will change the color. Like here you can see when I enter something, so based on that it color is changing. So I am creating this one. So let's go back here, and after that here this is our span. So for this span, let's add some dynamic properties. So in the template literal, here we will add width is 1 by 4, 1 by 4, and here we will add or change the color based on strength. So here if strength, so if strength is equal to, or let's add greater than equal to 1, then at that time it will be bg color will be red, and red will be of strength 500. Okay, and if it is not, like if user doesn't enter anything, then it will be null. So you can see by default it is null, but suppose if I enter here anything, then you can see this is our, like, score is greater than 1, that's why it's showing red color. Now similarly we will create some more. So let me uh, duplicate it, and here we will change the strength. So if strength is 2, then at that time color will be orange. So orange, which is 500, and when strength is 3, then at that time the color will be here amber 500, and when it is 4, then the color will be green. So here we will add, or let's use something other like emerald green. So this is the emerald green color. And now suppose if I enter something strong password, then you can see this is how it shows. Now after this we need to add a text which shows like strength of our password. So after this div we will create a paragraph tag, and inside that tag we will use strengths. So here based on the strength, if strength label, so here we are showing the strength label, and let's add some style to it. So here margin top is 1, text size is small, and text color is slate, which is 500, and save. And also along with this label, if you can see here, if I remove the password, then you can see by default it is weak. By default it is very weak. If user enters something, then it is weak, and if user enter any capital letter, then it is good, and if user enter any numbers or characters, then it is strong. So you can see it is changing dynamically. So along with this, let me add some content. Like after this there will be something like this. So this is a message which shows user that uh, password should be at least 8 characters with the maximum upper, lower, and the number symbol. Okay, so now let's create this one. Like if user enters something here and also here, but different from, like password is different and confirm password is different, then we need to show this one like password don't match. So to create this, we need to scroll down, and after this confirm password, we need to create a div. So after this, we will create a div, and okay, inside this div we will create this curly bracket, and here we will write form dot confirm password, and like user enter a confirm password, and after that we will check if password, like confirm password, is not equal to form that password. In that case we will show a paragraph. So this is a p tag, and suppose if I enter here anything and save, then let's go back here and you can see. Okay, so let me save this and refresh, and if I enter here anything, and suppose here if I enter different from this password, then you can see our message is shown here. So let's add some style to it, and instead of this one we can show something like password do not match, and save. So now you can see this is our message. Now let's add some style to it. So here we will add class, that is margin top is 1, text size is extra small, and text color will be red, which is 500, and save. And we don't need this div, so simply remove this one and save it. So now you can see this is our like error message which is shown here, and if it is correct, then it will not show. So okay, um, also I think we don't need to add this margin top, because you can see if I write anything by default it has a margin, so it is working good. Now after this we need to create like this one, a checkbox with agree to terms and policy. So for that what we will do after this one, like here you can see after our error message we have this checkbox. So similarly after this our error message we will create a div, and inside this div we will create an input, and this input type will be of checkbox, and save. So now you can see our checkbox is present here. So now let's add some style to it, like id is this one, and let's add some class name which is height is 4, width is 4, and border is like border color is slate, which is 300, and save it. And along with that we will make it rounded so that there will be roundish border radius, and after that text color will be slate, which is 900, and on focus there will be ring color will be slightly different, that is slate 200, and save. So now you can see this is our checkbox and everything is good. Also let's add required so that user need to check this when user submit. Before that user need to check this one. And after that let's add some label. So after this input we will create a label and let's give TOS, and inside this let's add I agree to the, and this is a space, and save. And inside this text we will create a link. So we need to import this from our next link, and this link contain terms. And similarly we have another link which is contains privacy policy, and save it. Now we need to add here href. So for now it will be hash, and for this is also contain hash, and save. So now you can see this is our text for our agreement. So now let's add some style to it. So for this div, let make flex an item to be center and gap is 2, and save it. And let's add some style to our labels. So for this label, text is small size and text color is slate 700, and save. So now you can see our text is looking good. Now let's add some style to our like link. So here it will be underline, and on hover opacity will be changing to like 80%. So like when we hover on that, opacity is changing. Similarly we will add same style to our policy, private like privacy policy, and you can see it works. Now what we have to do, we need to add some space in between those, like these two, because you can see here both are joined together. So what we can do here, we can add and after that let's add some space, and also before this one. So save it. So now you can see after and before and we have space. We also need space between the terms. So here we can add space. So now you can see it looks good. Now after this what we have to do is let's change this to register. So when it is login, so scroll down and we have a button. So this button we can change this to register. So here is register, and here will be like, let's change this to creating dot and save it. So now you can see it is done. Now after that we need to just change this one. So you can see here we have already have an account, so we need to change this to already have an account question mark, and here we will change this one to login, and also we change this to login and save. So now you can see our both register look alike, and also we need to add space here, and our register page is also done. So okay, and let's check whether it is responsive or not. So in the desktop view it looks something like this, and when we are on the login then it looks something like this. So okay, so it looks good. Now what we have to do is we need to add functionality to it, like when user enters something, like like I am entering the details, let me change something different, and let me add password, and let me check this. And when we click on register, users should register. But as you know that we are not implemented our like handle on submit, so let me remove this, or let me check whether we need these comments like commented or not. So okay, so we need these two. So let me uncomment this, and if user does not enter any password or email, then it will show that. Let me change this error to like email and password are required. So here in this case I made something like name is optional but email and password is compulsory. So for that, and after this also we will check if like user entered the correct password or not. So like password is not equal to form that confirm password, then in that case we will show like error message password does not match and return. And also we will check whether form that password dot length, so length is less than 8 characters, then in that case we show that password must be at least 8 characters, and we will return it. So suppose if I try to click on register, then currently we are not getting any error, but if this confirm password is different and if I try to submit, then we get this error. Also we are getting here, but also we can get here. Okay. And if user doesn't enter less than 8 characters, then if click on submit, then you can show. Okay, let me remove this and click on this. Okay, so 1 second, let's copy same thing here and click on that, then you can see it shows like password must be at least 8 characters. So our error handling is working properly. After this, cut start. So after this, we will add connect to our API. So let me uncommit this, because we will do the same thing. Just we need to replace this login to register, and here we need to we are passing form is same. And as you know that our name is optional, so we need to change this something like this, an object, and here we will pass name, which will be form dot name. If user not pass any name, then it can be undefined. Okay, and here email will be like email password and email and password. Okay. And after this, if everything is not okay, then it will show that here registration failed, please try again. And it will like set load is false. Okay, and if everything is correct, then we will redirect to login. So once user register, user need to log in again, and here we will change this message to register error. And hopefully everything is done. We are connected with our API. Let me click on simply, okay, we need to fix this, so let me enter here. Okay, so now everything is correct. Now I will click on register, and you can see it is creating and redirect to our login page. So we have successfully created our register page. So now what we will do, let's test whether our login is working or not. So it is this email, and let me enter password. So, and when I click on login, then you can see it is login, and here you go, we redirected to our dashboard. So our login and registration form is working properly. Now only left is to create a dashboard, and everything will be done. Okay, so now let's create dashboard page. So let's go to our app, and here inside this app we will create a folder which is called main, and inside this we will create dashboard folder, and inside this dashboard we will create a page.tsx, and here we will create simply a component, and let me give a name called dashboard and save it. And now if I refresh this page again, then you will be seeing, okay, so you can see we are logged out. So let me check why we are logged out. So okay, so let me log in again. So here let me enter details and click on login, and it will redirect to our dashboard. So now let's start creating this page. So first we will create a functionality so that we get the information of user. So here at the top we will create a function called asynchronous function, which is like get identity, and this identity help us to get the user information. So inside this function, first we will use first we will fetch the header. So h is equal to await headers, and this header is coming from our next headers. So simply import it from next headers, and after that we will get our sub, which is id for the user. So sub will be is equal to h dot get id. So here h dot get, and here we will pass the scope. So s x dot dash scope, and if there is no scope, then we will get empty. And okay, I have corrected the name. And after this, what we will do, we will create a variable called scopes string, and let's convert this into a string. So h dot get, and here we will like x dot scope, and if it is also not there, then it will be empty. Okay, so here we are using sub, so we need to change this to sub, and here it is scope string, so here we are getting the scope. And after this, if we have sub, so if we have this one, then we will simply return sub an object which contain our sub scope, and scope will be like we use this scope string dot split, and from this we will filter out the boolean, and simply it will return boolean. And after this we will create a variable called cookies, and this will get help us to get cookies. So cookie store is equal to await cookies, and this is also coming from our next head. And after this, const token will be equal to cookie store dot get token. So we are getting the token which is stored on our client side, and here if there is no cookies, so we will get the value, and if there is no value, then we will get empty. Okay, so if you guys not understanding what I am doing here, then you need to watch our backend video. So go to my channel mgcodingfun, and here this is the video you need to watch first, and then you can come back here and start continue from here. Okay, so after this, for the cookies we need to as we are using phantom tokens, so we need to change this to phantom. So it's phantom dot token. This is what I have given in the backend, so that's why. And after this, here we will create or check, like if there is no token, then we will simply return an object which contains sub is empty string and scope is an array, and save it. And after that, finally we will call our API. So in the catch try and catch block, here let's type error. So inside this try, we will connect to our API. Before that, let's get the base URL. So const base is equal to process.env dot. Here we can get our like API call, like base API URL from our environment variable, that is public base URL, or we can get from our localhost, that is http localhost 3000. And after that we will connect our API. So const request is equal to await fetch, and inside this fetch we will pass our base. So first we will pass base, and after that we will call the API path, which is API slash here you can see in the API folder we have v1, and inside v1 we have inspect. So we need to call this API. So here we will write like v1 slash, and then we will call introspect and save it. And also along with that we need to pass the method. So method name is post, and here the header is like we need to pass content type is application JSON, and in the body we will pass our token. So JSON, so JSON dot stringify, and here we will pass token and save it. So this will what do, it will connect with our database, and based on the token it will get the details of the user, and simply it will return const data, which is equal to await response.json. And if data dot like data dot active, so user is an active user, then in that case it will return an object where sub will be of data dot it will be of string type data dot sub. And if the data is not present, then it will be empty. And after this we will have a scope, and this scope will be like data dot scope, so scope scope. And if there is no scope, then it will return empty array. And if user is like if there is no user is not active, then it simply return this empty array. And here in the catch block we can show the console dot error message, the like fetching error fetching identity, and here we will show the error. And if there is like there is some error, then it will return sub and the scope is empty. Okay, and now after this, let's start creating our dashboard. So now we will use this get identity function. So inside this dashboard we will create a const, and this object will take or get data from get identity, which we have created above. Just we are calling it here, and from this function we get two things, that is sub and scope, and save it. And now what we will do, we will change this main to div, div to main, and save it. And let me show you our dashboard what we are going to create. So let me log in here, and also let me enter password and log in. And after this you can see here, this is our dashboard, how it looks. So at the top this is the navigation, and it contains some title and these cards. So this is what we're going to create. So let me log in here also, and enter password and click on login, and now you can see this is how our dashboard looks. So let's start building it. So I remove this dashboard and let me add some style to it. So for this, class name is relative, min height is screen, and bg gradient, that is to right, or we can give to bottom. So first one, okay. And from color is slate, which is, let me wrap this, And also we don't need to write this again. Let's go back to our login page, and inside this page at the top you can see we have already done it. So simply we need to copy these two, and let's go back here and paste it here and save it. So now you can see our navigation bar is changed, like color is applied here. Now after this, let's refresh this page, and after this div, so this is the div. So after this div, let's add more style. Like inside this we will create another div, and inside this we will create a header tag, and let's add some style to this div. So I will make mx auto, and width is of 92%, so 92%, and max width is 6xl, and py is 10, and save. Now inside this header we will add h1 tag, and inside this h1 we will create a dashboard text. So now you can see this is our dashboard. Let's add some style to it. Before that, let's add paragraph below it. So inside this paragraph, let me get the content. So this is what we are going to show, as you can see here. And now let's add style to our header. So let's make bottom margin to be of 6, and for this h1 class, let's text size to be 3xl, and font is extra bold, and tracking is light. So let me add the tracking, which is light. Okay, so I cannot find, so light. Okay, tight. And text is a slate color, which is 900, and save. So now you can see this is our dashboard h1 tag. Now let's add some style to our p tag. So here margin top is 1, and text color is slate 600, and save. So we are done with our header. Now after this header we will create a section. So this is a section, and inside this section we will create div. So we need to create two divs. So one minute. So inside this section we will create a div, and inside that we create another div, and inside that we will create h2 tag and add like signed in as. And after that we will add a p tag, and inside this p tag we will add our sub. And if there is no like sub value, then we can show like unknown, and save it. So now you can see currently it is shown as unknown. So let's add some style to this section. So we can make the rounded, which is 2xl, and border color is slate of 200 with 70% opacity, and bg is white, which is 80% opacity, and padding from all side is 6. Shadow is xl, so shadow is xl, and let's add some background drop blur, which is around 2xl, or we can remove that, and simply this is how it looks our section. Now after that, for this div we will add more classes like flex column, and justify between, and gap is 4, and in the medium size devices it will be like flex row, and also items start, and save it. So for now we cannot see any changes, but before that adding anything, let's add some style to our class like h2. So for this I will make text large, and font is semi bold, and text color is slate 900, and save it. So now you can see this is our h2. And also let's add some style to our paragraph. So here margin top is 1, font is mono, and text is small, and text color is slate of 800. So this one is 800 slate, and save it. So this is our sub, which will be id. And after this paragraph we will create one more paragraph, and inside this we will add scope. So here we will create a scope, and let's add some space, and after that we will create or show the scope based on condition like scope dot length. So scope dot length is if greater than 0, then here we will show span tag, and if not we will show none. So here we are showing none. Okay, and also we need to close this, and save. So now, okay, so we are getting here error. Okay, so you can see here we are calling the function get identity, and this is an asynchronous function. So when we are calling it, it should be inside the asynchronous functions. So we need to make this component as asynchronous, and here we need to write await. So now you can see our error is gone, and here also we are getting our ID, and here scope is none. Also, one thing we need to add here is after this body we need to add cache, and which to be no cache, like no cache, and save it. So now let me refresh this page again, and you can see everything is working fine. Now let's start continue with our like styling. So for this paragraph tag, let's add class name. Margin top is 1 and text size is extra small. So extra small, and text color is slate 500. So text slate 500 and save it. So now you can see our scope looks something like this. Okay, so currently you can see here in the scope we are getting none. So by default we need to send as a read. So let's go back to our API. So under this API and v1, let's go to login, and here as you can see we are passing scope is empty, but let's add by default it is read and save it. We can also give scope like write and save this, and let me log out again. So let's go here and remove this cookie. So inside these cookies simply remove like phantom token. So after removing, just refresh this page and you will be log out. Now let's try again login. So let me try again and click on login, and now you can see our scope is content read and write. Okay, so now you can see here we are showing scope here and also here. So let me change this. So here for this paragraph, if we have scope, then instead of joining those scopes, here we will show like has scope and save it. So now you can see here we are showing has scope, and these are the scope. Now let's add some style to our scopes. So for this span tag we need to add classes. So class name, here we will make it like inline flex, so that all the scope will be in one line. And after this we will make items to be center and rounded full. And also let's add some border, and let the border color is like slate 200 and save it. So now you can see there is a border around this text. After this, let's add some background color. So bg slate, which will be 50, and save. And now you can see there is a background color slightly, you can see it. And now after that, let's add some padding along x-axis is 2.5 and y-axis is 1, and save. So now you can see our label is looking good. After this, let's add the size of text that is small. So text is sm, and fonts bold, like font weight is medium, and text color is slate, which is 700, and save. So this is our scope, and now you can see there is these two scopes are like there is no gap in between them. So let's add some gap here. So here we will add gap is 2, and now you can see it looks good. We can also add like let's test with 1, and 1 is fine, so let it be 1. And now after this scope, let's create this logout button. So what we will do, after this div we will create a another div, and inside the div, like 1 second, so inside this div we will create a component called logout. So simply logout button, and we are going to create this component. So let's go back to our components folder, and inside this we will create a file called logout button.tsx, and here we will create that component and save it. And let's go back to our dashboard and simply import it. As you can see here, like I have imported from our components, and save. And now you can see this is our logout button. We didn't add any functionality, but let's add it. So let's go back to our logout button. So here we need to change this div to button, and inside this button we will create loading and the other functionality. And before that, let's add the logic part. So here at the top we will create a router. So const router is equal to use router, and we need to import it from next navigation, and save. And after this we will create a state. So use state. So const loading set loading, and we are going to import from React, and by default it will be false. And after this, okay, so you can see here we are getting error. So as we are using state, so we need to make this component as use client component. Now you can see our error is gone. After this use state, we will create a function called logout. So on logout, we can give any name. I am giving on logout, and this is an asynchronous function. For now, let it be. Let's add style to our button, and then I will add functionality to it. So let's go here, and inside this button we will create a loading state. So on loading, when loading is true, then in that case we will show a span. So let me write, okay, span, and let me remove this and save. So now there is no error. Now inside this, as this is the loading state, so simply we will make a tag like close tag, and here we will add class like inline block. So it will be in one line, and h4 width is 4, and after this we need to add animated spin so that it will spin. So simply we are here we are creating a loading state, like we will create a circle and it will be rotating. For that we are using animate spin, and after this we will add like border, which will be 2, and border color will be slate 400, and save. And okay, so we cannot see anything, so let me make it true so that we can see. And now currently see, this is our loader and it is currently in square shape. So let's make it round. So after adding the background color like border color, we will make the border to be like round. So here we will add rounded, which is full, and save. So now you can see it is in circular form. Now after this we will add transparency to the right, like border right will be transparent, and save, so that we can see the loading state. Like now it is looking like a loader. So okay, so now after this let's add like let's add some text after this loading. So when it is loading, here after this we will create like when it is loading, then like loading is true, then show like a logging out dot dot dot. If not, simply log out and save. So now you can see when it is our loading is true, then it is showing logging out, and with there is a loading animation. So after this we also need to handle like when it is not loading, like if here if it is false, then in that case what we need to show. Currently you can see we are showing just logout. Along with that we will also show something like when it is true, then here we will show an svg icon along with that. So I already have an icon, so let me get that icon and paste it here and save it. So now you can see this is our logout icon and this is our text, but currently they are not in same line. As you can see here, they are like both are in the same line, but this is not. So okay, so for this button we will add style, like add some class name, and cursor is pointer, and inline is flex, items to be center, and save it. So now you can see our item like both text and logo is in the same row. After this we will add some gap in between them, that is 2, and rounded is large, and border color will be slate 300, and save it. So it's slate 300 and save. Let me wrap this again, and now you can see there is a border around this text and logo. After this let's add some background color, which is white, and padding along y-axis, like x-axis is 4 and y-axis is 2, and size is like small, and font is semi bold. And let also add some text color, which is slate 800, and save it. So now you can see our button is created, but here in this case you can see when I hover on this there is a shadow effect. So let's add that. So after this text color we will add shadow, which is small when we don't hover. So now you can see without, like by default there will be small size, like little bit shadow, but when user hover on it, then let's change some background color to be slate 500. It is allowed, so let me make it 50. Yeah, so this is fine. And let's add some transition, that is for all. And also when the user hover, then let's change the shadow to be medium and save it now. So now you can see when I hover on this, there is a shadow effect, and it is also changing background color, so it is looking good. Now after this, we can make it like disable. So once user click on this, and when it is in the logout state, like logging out, then opacity will be like it was reduced, opacity will be reduced. So for that, we can make opacity is 60%, like 60%. And also disable, during disable state there will be cursor is not allowed, so cursor not allowed, so that user not able to click it again. Now save for now, and now you can see everything is looking good. Now let's add this functionality so that we can see how it is working or not. So here in the button we will add on click, which is on logout, and along with that we will also add the disable. So when it is disabled, when this logging is true, then it will be disabled. Now let's add functionality to our logout function. So inside this logout function, first we need to set loading to be true and save. So suppose if I now click on this, then you can see there is a loading state, and you can see I cannot click on this button, and opacity is also reduced. So it is working good. Now after this, we need to, let me refresh this, and here we will add, like we will create a const await fetch API, and this API will be fetching our logout API, which is in the API v1 and logout. So this one. So here we will add slash API slash v1 logout, and also we can add the method which is post method and save it. And after this, if response is okay, like everything is okay, then it will simply navigate to, like we can navigate it to login, or we can navigate it to home page. It's our wish, but for now I am making it login. And after this, if there is any error, then in that case we will make router to be again replaced to be login. Okay, now finally, okay, so currently you can see we are not handling the error, so let me remove this, and let's use try and catch block. And I have pasted everything in the try, and inside the catch block we will show the error. So here we can console log dot error, and if there is any error, then okay, so for now it's fine. And suppose if I click on this, then it will log out, but our loading state will not be like false after finishing it. So here we will add finally, if everything is done, then simply set the logging to, like loading state to be false. Now suppose if I refresh this page, and when I click on logout, then you can see logout state, and it is simply came up to our login page. Now if I refresh or try to go back to our dashboard, so here, and click enter, then you can see still we are in our login page, so we are successfully logged out. So now let's log in back and start creating our design like we have done with our logout. Now we will create this session status, and then quick actions and security tips, as well as footer. So let's go back here and let me enter the credentials. So now you can see we are successfully logged in. Now after this, like let's go to our dashboard page, and here let's scroll down, and after this div, okay, so before, as you can see here, when I am in the like desktop view, then you can see our logout is here. And when we are in the like mobile device, then it is here. So here for this button we need to add some class. So for this div, here we will add class name, and we make it flex items to be center, and gap is of 3, and save it. I am doing this because in further I am going to add something along with this button. That's why. So now after this div, like outside this div, we will create another div, and here we will add like activities. Like you can see this session status, scopes, and cookies. So what we will do, so as you can see, these three looks alike, so we need to create a component for that. So let's go down, and here we will create a component, and its name is called stat. So cons stat, and it is a normal like arrow function, and here it needs some parameters like label and value, and also okay for status. And let's add here the typescript, like label is string, value is also string, and okay, which is optional, it will be boolean. Now inside this curly bracket it will return a div, and inside this div it will have another div, and this contain a paragraph, and this is for our label. And save it, and let me go back to our page and refresh this page. Okay, we cannot see here because we didn't call this one, but before calling that, let's add more, like here tags. So after this div we will create a span tag, and this span tag will be self closed. So let me remove, and here we will add class name, which is like this using the template, and here we will add h to be like height is 2, width is also 2, rounded full, and like if everything is okay, then it will be green. So bg green, let it be, let me remove and use the emerald, which is, let be 500. And if there is something issue, then it will be bg slate, which is 300, and save. And along with this, here we will add an attribute called area hidden, and it will be true. Now after this div, we will create one more paragraph tag, and this paragraph tag contain value. So let me show you. So this is our label, and this is value, and this is our span tag which just now we have created. So for this paragraph, let's add class name, margin top is 1, text size is small, and font is semi bold, and text color is slate, which is 900, and save. And also let's add some style to our main div. So for this div we will make it rounded to be excel. Or before doing anything, let's add these to like in this div so that we can see what is going on. So here we will add stat, and this contain label, and also it required value, and okay. And for now I am saving it, and you can see there is, we cannot see anything, so we need to connect this one with the real data. So first label will be session, and its session status, value is like if we have any sub value, then it means it is active state. If not, we have user is unknown. Sub means it is a user id. Okay, and here for okay we can pass, like here we are passing the boolean value. Suppose if there is any active user, then it will be true. If there is no active user, then it will be false, and save. So now you can see here we have the label and the value, so it is working good. Now let's add style to our like this stat. So for this tip, we made rounded to be an excel, and along with that we will add some border. So here border will be color, border color will be slate 200, and save. So now you can see there is a border with rounded corners. And after this we will add the background color bg white, and padding x is 4 and padding y is 3, and save. So now you can see our card is created like this. Now we need to style our this indicator. So for that, what we will do, we will go to this div, and here we will add flex items to be center and justify between. And after that, let's add some style to our paragraph. For this, text will be small. We can make it extra small, and text color is slate 50, let be 500, and save. So now you can see this is our text, which is looking good. Now I think we are done with this card. As you can see, both are looking same. Now what we will do, we will use further, like here you can see we have scope. So here we will create more to and save it, and we will pass the values. So for the second one we need to pass, like let me check here. So it's scopes. So change this to scopes, and similarly we will change this label to be cookie, and save. And let me go back here, and you can see our we have three cards which contain status, like session status, scope, and cookies. Now also let's change the value. So for this value we will remove this, and here we will write like scope dot length. Like if there is any scope which is greater than, like scope length is greater than 0, then we will show here like scope length. So scope dot length, and here we will write granted. If not, we will show just none. So now you can see here we are getting two scopes, which is two scopes granted. Now similarly we will change this one. So label is cookie, and here for the value we will pass http only, and for the OK state we will just pass true. Okay, so now you can see here these cards are like in the same column, and also you can see in the desktop view it is in the same column and there is no space in between them. So let's add some style to the main div. So for this div we will add margin top to be 4, and grid gap is 4, and in the small devices, like greater than small devices, it will be grid columns to be 3, and save. So now you can see it is looking good, and it is also responsive. Like in the larger devices there will be 3 grid, but when it comes to the small devices then it will be in the single column. Okay, so now let's start creating these quick action buttons. So for this what we will do, we need to, like after this section we will create another div, and let's go back to our page here. As you can see there is no quick action button, so here we will add. So after this div we will create another section, and in this section we will create h3, and let me change to h3, and here let's add text like quick actions, and save. Now you can see here is our quick action title. So let's add some style to this div. So for margin top is 8, and grid and gap is 6, and in medium devices like grid columns to be 2, and save. And now after that we need to add some style to our class, like section. Here we will add class name, which is rounded to be 2xl, border, and border color will be slate, which is 200, and bg is white, padding from all side is 6, and shadow is small, and save. So now you can see our card is created, and inside that card we have h3, which is our title. So let's add some style to this. So here text is base size, and font is semi bold, and text color is slate, which is 900, and save. So now you can see our title is also ready. Now after this h3 we will create an order list, and let's add some class to it, like margin top is 4, and grid gap is 3, and save. So now inside this unordered list we contain, like it contain list. So first I will create a list, and inside this list we have link tag, which we need to import from next link, and this link tag contain value which is in the span tag. So here in the span tag let's add some here href. By default it will be slash profile. We can give anything, but currently as you can see here we have view profile, so that's why we have here I'm passing profile, but I haven't created any like page for that. But it, but for now I am passing it. Okay, now here inside this span tag we will add like view profile and simply save it. Now you can see this is our list. Similarly we will create more 3, like more 2, but and also you can see here these 3 are alike, and like it contains same icon and this like title. So what I will do, I will create a separate component for this, but before that let's add some style and then I will create a component which can be reusable. So here for this link tag we will add class name, which is group and flex, and also items to be center and justify center, and save it. And before that we need to have an icon. So for that what we will do, I have already have an icon, so let me copy that and paste it here. So this is an icon, and this function, inside the function I am returning simply an icon, and save it for now. And let's go back here, and after this span tag, or we can do it like inside the span tag, but for now let it be outside. So here outside, like here I'm using the same component which I have created here, like this one, and save it. Now you can see we have an icon and also our title. So let's continue with our style. So here after justify center we will make the like rounded to be okay. So not justify center, let it is justify between, because you can see now you can see our text and the icon is like there is some space in between them. And after that we will make it like rounded, which is excel, and border, and also border color is slate, which is 200, and save. This is slate, and save. So now you can see there is a border around our like our list. And after this border, like border color, here we will add padding. So px will be like 3 and py will be 3, and save. So it is looking good now. Let me check whether they are same or not. So it is looking good. Now after this we will need to add some transition here. So all, and on hover we will change the border color, that is slate 400, and also background color. So on hover background color will be slate 50, and save. So now you can see when I hover on this border and the background color is changing. So it is looking good. Now what we will do, simply I will copy this thing, or I will cut this and I will create here a component name which is called action. And here at the bottom I will pass that, like here I will create const action is equal to an arrow function, and this function returns this list which we have just now copy, and you can see there is no change in it. Now what we will do, here we will pass props like label, or we can give title, and icon is same, so there is no issue with that, but path will be different. So here we will also pass path, and let's add type, that is title, which is not optional, path, which can be an optional. So here I am passing path is an option, and here I am replacing with it like href. And let me remove this, and you can see here we are getting error because it cannot be, here is type is undefined but it cannot be. So by default we will make this to be hash. So okay, not this one, we will make this path to be hash by default. So now you can see there is no error. Now what we will do, also let's change this to title, and save. So now you can see there is no title, so let me pass it. So here at the top for this action we will pass title, which is view profile, and path is slash profile, and save. So now you can see our action is ready, like it is looking good. Now what we will do, Let's add some style to our span tag here. So for this we will make font is medium and text color is slate, which is 800, and save. So now you can see our action button is also created, and now we can reuse this one. So let's go here and duplicate it twice and save it, and from here just simply copy, or we can use this one like manage session. So change this to manage sessions, and next one is security setting. So change this to security settings, and also we can change this, or if we don't want we can remove this and save. So now you can see our quick action is also created. Okay, so let me show you whether it is responsive or not. So this is the desktop view, and you can see this is how it looks. And suppose if I resize this, so let me resize. So now you can see when it is in the desktop view it looks something like this, and when we reduce the screen size then you can see it is responsive. It is completely responsive. Okay, so now let's continue from here, and next we are going to create this section. So let's go back here, and here after this section we will create another section, and this time I will give a name that is section, like tag name is section, and inside this section we will add h3. Let me change this to h3. So h3, and inside this we will add security tips, which is our title, and save. So now you can see this is our card, like title you can see here, and after this h3 we will add unordered list, and this unordered list contain list, and inside this list we will add a dot. Like here you can see at the beginning we have a dot which is green color, and then we have some content, so we need to create the dot. So what we will do, we will use the reusable component. So because here you can see this content dot and also this one, so let's create reusable component. So scroll down, and here we will create a function which is const dot, and which will be an arrow function, and this function will return a span tag, and it will be closed, self closed span tag. So let me remove it. Okay, now we will add classes. So here let's use the template string literal, and here we will add our margin top is 1, inline is block, and height is of 2.5, and width is also 2.5, and it will be rounded full so that it will be in circular form. And if everything is okay, then it will be in some greenish color, so we will use bg emerald, and it will be 500. And if there is any issue, then in that case it will be bg slate, which is 300, and save. And you can see here we are getting error, so we need to pass here and props. So here we will pass like okay, and okay will be boolean type, and save it. Now let's use this here. So let's go up, and here we will add it. So inside this li we will add our dot just now which we have created, and also we will pass okay, and okay will be like boolean. So if user is active, then only it will be greenish color. If not, it will be like or we can change it by okay. So by default it will be green, because this is for security purpose, not any like we don't need to be like changing its color. So that's why by default it will be true, and save. Now let's go back here and check whether we can see or not. So yeah, you can see we have a green dot, and suppose if okay is false, then it will be some grayish color, as you can see here. So let it be green, and after this dot we will add text. So I already have text, or we can simply copy from like here, from here, but it's fine. Now after this we need to like reuse this more like 2 times. So what we can do, we can create a reusable component for this also. Before that, let's add some style so that I can simply copy and create a reusable component. So for li we will add class name, and it will be flex item to be start, so that it will be start from the beginning. And let's add some gap which will be 2, and save. So now you can see this is how currently it's looking. Let's add some style to our like UL. So for this we will add margin top is 4 and space along the y-axis is 3 and text size is small. So text is SM and text color is slate, which is 200 or let it be 700, and save it. So now you can see this is how it looks. Also let add the style for our cards. So for this section we will add a class name and it will be rounded to XL. Border, and border color will be slate, which is 200, and save it. And background color will be white. Padding from all direction, like all side, will be 6. And let's add some shadow, which is small, and save. So now you can see this is how it looks. And also here we need to change this to slate and save. So now you can see it is looking good. Now let's also add some style to our h3. So for this we will make text is base and font is semi bold and text color is slate, which is 700. So this is slate, and save. So now you can see this is our title and it is looking good. Now what we will do, now let's create the reusable component for this so that we can reuse it. So simply I will cut it here and I will write here tip. We can give anything, but I am giving tip, and it contain like okay, and also text will be the same which we have copied just now. So let me once copy this, and here we will add text equal to, and I will pass it. And also we need to close this, so here we will add slash and save. And here we need to remove these spaces. Yeah, and here we are getting error because we didn't create this one. So let's go down, and here we will create, so const if is equal to arrow function, and this will return this one which we have copied, and simply save it. And let me skip this and save. And after this, here we will add the props like okay and as well as text, and this will be like okay is boolean and text is string type, and save. Now you can see there is no error, and also we can see our text. Now similarly what we will do, we will replicate it for more twice, so 2 times, duplicate it and save. Now you can see this is how it looks. Now let me get the content. So I will copy this text and paste it here. Also let me copy this one, so let me zoom it out and let me paste it here and save. So now if I go back here, and you can see our security tip is created. Now only left is to create this footer section. So let's create that one and it will be finished. So after this div we will create another div, or let's create a footer. And also I think let's go back here, and here in the components, if you can see we have already a footer section, but this one contains something like this one, so we can use this. So what we will do, let's go back here and remove this, and here we will write footer, and simply I am importing it from our components like you can see here, and now save it. And now let's go back here, and now you can see this is our footer, and so it is also responsive. And also you can see we have some issue with here. So what we will do, let's go back to our dashboard here, and we will wrap this in a div. So here I will add a div, and here for this div let's add some class name like margin top is to be 10, and save. So now you can see our footer is created and it is looking good, and the UI of this dashboard is also finished, and it is also responsive. As you can see here, when it is in the desktop view it looks something like this, but when I reduce this screen size, then you can see these two are getting responsive layout. So you can see, so in this width of the screen, our quick actions and the screen tip is in the same column, but these are in the, like it has in the 3 column, but when it is in the mobile view, then it also become into a single column. So that's it. We are done with our dashboard, and let's go back here and let me refresh this page, and also this one. and you can see there is no issue with this one is logged out because its time is completed, but here we are still active. And at the top you can see we can see that this is like we are logged in, but still we can see this. So what we can do, we can hide it. So let's go back to our navbar components. So here inside these components, open navbar, and here what we will do, we will access the user authentication, and based on that we will hide this one. Okay, so what we will do, for that we need to go back to our dashboard, and we will copy this like get identity method, and we'll paste it here inside this div, or we can call this one at the top. And let's import these headers from the next headers, and cookies from the next headers. It is also from the next headers, and save it. And what we will do, after getting this, we will call this function here. So let's go down, and here we will call const sub, which will be is equal to get identity, and simply we will save it. Now based on the user authentication, we will change the like this one, login and the register thing. So for this we will remove this div, and here we will show based on conditions. So if there is no, like if there is no active user, in that case we will show this one. And if there is an active user, in that case we will simply show a div for now and save it. And you can see here when I refresh this page, then there is like currently it is as the user is not active. So here we can see login and register button, but once I am active, like let me enter the details, and if user is active, then in that case it should be like here we can show logout or something else. Suppose if I refresh this page, then you can see it is gone. So let's do it. So what we will do, so inside this div we will create a another button which will be showing for profile. So here inside this div we will create a link, and this link contains profile, and save. And also let's pass here href, which is for our profile, and save it. And now if I refresh this page, then you can see, okay, so we cannot see anything like we are still active, but we can see login and register button. It is because here when we go up, this function is an asynchronous function, but here in the navbar we are just calling like directly. So we need to wait here. So we need to make this navbar as a asynchronous component, and here we will use await and save it. Or we can do in another way, but for now like this we can do and save. And now you can see here our login and register button is converted into like profile button. So now let's start styling this one. Okay, so I have remembered that we already has created a reusable component for this. Like as you can see here, this login button is same as our profile button, so we can reuse that component. So let's go back to our component folder, and here you can see we have created custom button, and same this button we need to use. So let's go back to our navbar, and here simply remove this and just use that component, that is custom button, and close it. And also it takes href, which is slash profile, and label is same like profile, and save. And now you can see, or here is our profile. Also let me refresh this page so that we can confirm it is working. So now you can see when I hover on this, our button is still working, and this is our dashboard. So we are done with our creating this dashboard, and also we have integrated our backend with it. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and like and share with your friends.